gentlemen, we are tonight's entertainment.
Okay, we are tonight's entertainment. Obviously, it's not just me tonight. And thank you so much for being here this Friday evening. Alam ko marami kayong ginagawa, but you decided to be here. Once again, my name is JM Cruz from Zero Hour Discussions, and this is my home for away from home and also an escape. Now we're going to discuss one of my favorite Batman movies, the superhero movies of all time, which is the third and final movie under Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. But before that, let me just also introduce the guest. Let's go ahead and start with Sir Jerald from the Powerful Comicsman podcast. Good
The
evening, sir.
selfie taking.
Ay, gulat eh, oh. Pasok, selfie ka.
Uh, yes. Oh, kasi
Yan.
i-stream ko dapat sa, sa
Yeah.
Kumu eh. Oh, sige, sige.
Yeah.
Eto, kailangan daw ng cover. But good evening to all the zero-hour discussers. Zero-hour.
Our discussion
It's
people,
nice.
whoever.
It's nice to be back and actually ni-review ko kanina yung kanina ko lang ulit na-review tapos kalahati pa lang ulit yung nare-review ko. So yung half kailangan but I think I'm prepared enough to do it. I've seen The Dark Knight Rises probably mga more than 10 times na rin. So it's a very rewatchable movie, di ba?
Yep. Since 10 times na, imposible naman wala kayo na pick up, sir. This point. You know a lot about this movie at this point. But let's go ahead and introduce another returning guest and also a good friend of ours, Sir Jerald. So we have Sir Jay Aruga from the Jay Aruga Show. Good evening,
Hello.
sir.
Good evening, senor. I want to see.
Oh my God.
Kamusta?
What's up with Sir Jay?
Hey, good,
Feel in
good
charge.
evening, everyone. Good evening.
Naging
So,
lola.
yun yung yun ang
Alright.
Christian
Sir
Bale
Jay,
impression ko.
Kamusta, Sir Jay?
Hey, good guys. Kamusta kayo? Salamat sa pag-invite. And nice to hang out with you guys, my friends. So, I always enjoy na kausap kayo at ka-hang out kayong mga kaibigan ko.
Alam mo na miss ko yung magkasama tayong tatlo nagkukwentuhan tayo ng kalokohan. So, hopefully in a few.
Gawin natin
when
ulit yun
everything,
soon.
yeah, soon. Hopefully
baka
everything stabilized.
Hindi natin alam mamaya may mga kalokohan tayong mapagkwentuhan.
Meron yan. Also, gusto ko lang i-highlight din yung Social Moon t-shirt, Sir Jay. It's from Dublin, Ireland, Batman. So, represent.
Represent. Yeah.
So, meron pa tayong dalawa pang guests actually. We have also an online friend of mine and very thankful ako na kilala ko tong tao to because we talk a lot more than just stuff na gusto namin, but also he is one of the few na nakakaalam din ng ginagawa natin as part of the basta na yan, next discussion na yan. Pero let me just introduce Jess from the Fandom PH and representing the Batman. Awesome.
Hey everyone, pleasure to meet you guys, and thank you for inviting me over here. Sa Zero Hour. Actually, the title itself reminds me of DC Comics. Yung Zero Hour.
Zero Hour.
Diba? So yeah, that's a reminder, and a pleasure to be a guest here with the fellow nerds, and I look to hanging around with you and sharing geeky stuff, pop culture and all.
And first time mo, there's also another first timer here. Apparently, wala siya sa camera ngayon. But I'd also like to introduce to you si Patrick. Ramirez.
Hello. Is my mic working?
Yeah, your mic.
Yes,
I am Batman.
Almost.
Word. Shit. Word.
Where's the trigger? Something na ganun. So, yeah, Pat, since ikaw yung pinakabago sa amin lahat, kamusta ka na, sir? And what do you usually do? Time of day? Anong ginagawa mo? Are you working also?
Fresh grad. I'm currently getting all my documents ready so I can join the Philippine Marine Corps.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yon. Hopefully,
Nice.
ganda kalabasan nun. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm medyo late notice, but um, yeah, let's go ahead and discuss this movie na
Tara. Oh.
nakakatawa lang dito. When I was browsing through yung earnings ng Trilogy,
Mm.
ang baba pala ng kita ng Batman Begins. Batman
Talaga?
Begins is only 300 million.
Yeah.
Hindi ako magugulat.
And then nag-jump siya to 700 million when it comes to The Dark Knight. And mas mataas pa yung The Dark Knight Rises. So
Considering the controversy surrounding it,
oh yeah,
the shootings.
controversy surrounding it. So to those people na hindi pa nakakapanood nitong movie na to, this is actually the third movie out of the Nolan trilogy, which is Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and also The Dark Knight Rises. So, siguro simulan muna natin sa'yo, Pat, since you're new here. Ano yung naalala mo dito sa movie na to? And
Dark Knight Rises?
Did you enjoy it? Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises.
Honestly, even the first time I enjoyed it. Even when everybody hated it. Honestly, I quite liked it.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
hate parang medyo long sa akin, long shot sa
Yeah.
akin na mayroon talaga nag-hate nitong movie na to. I mean,
Honestly,
people had negatives for it, pero
pretty
yung
much,
ibang
yeah, it was the worst received. But still,
oh yeah,
it's
I agree.
when you compare it to, I mean, look, Batman Begins. It's an icon. Then when you topped it off with The Dark Knight and Heath Ledger as Joker, honestly, anything less than that level of masterpiece, it will always look like a bit of a flop or a bit of a negative.
Well,
It
yeah,
will always look weak.
I agree. Kasi there's a different expectation when you're coming from The Dark Knight talaga. Even if you
Yes.
compare it to other movies not related to to Batman, any superhero movie na lumabas, it's going to be inevitable that some part of it will be compared to The Dark Knight for some reason. And it goes beyond just the success of the movie, siguro. It's a cultural thing na when it comes to The Dark Knight.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, yep. Let's go ahead and jump to Jess muna. Jess, I know you're more of the comic guy here and representing Batman sa likod. Is that tawag dito? Batman Returns? Dark Knight Returns? Na,
Batman Hush.
Hush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hush.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Galing.
I
Black
haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, it's
May same post
bad.
kasi si ano.
I've only seen the movie. I mean, I've only seen the movie. I haven't seen
Animated.
the.
The animated
Yeah,
feature.
the-
It's really bad.
Oh really?
It
I've only-
deviated from the book. It's one of those atrocities when it comes to the DC animated universe. I mean,
Yeah, they
considering
took some liberties.
Yeah, considering they've made really good ones such as Flashpoint, Under the Red
Oh,
Hood, but Hush
yeah.
was really bad. It was when it came to the last part. Nako, doon ka makakamot yung ulo mo. As in, what made them decide with such a liberty? Ayun. Kasi if you read the book,
conversation to have.
yeah,
Although
malayo talaga. I
malayo
think-
pero the surprise is a bit welcome kasi if you read the book, you're expecting someone else to be Hush.
As Hush, exactly.
As Hush, yeah. Pero anyway, yeah, that's a
But
different
they-
topic.
Yeah.
I haven't read the comic book yet, so
But they stuck
I'm
with the
safe.
mastermind. Yeah, but they did stick to the mastermind talaga. Ayun lang, yung delivery was totally off the box.
The delivery. Yeah.
Just how about
So yes, this is a high-
Rises? How about Rises,
Rises,
though?
like Jerald, I've watched it more than 10 times. It's actually quite interesting kasi parang I remember watching it while I was at work. I sneaked out of the office just to watch the last full show.
Which one?
Nobody's yung ito, this the Dark Knight
The Dark Knight Rises. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Nobody noticed I slipped out of the office last full show. Pero it was fascinating. Pero I would understand why it brought about yung, di ba, it is regarded as one of the most it is a controversial movie because yun nga
Mhm.
nagkaroon ng shootings and the mood of the movie, it brings about that certain feel of hopelessness. Eh. But of course, it also
And I remember
gives hope.
yung Batman Incorporated ni Grant Morrison na
Oh,
yes.
hindi muna nila release on that period dahil
Oh.
may scene na kapareho
Exactly.
nung,
Oo.
shooting.
Oh.
Release ba nila yung Batman Inc.?
After kasi
They
medyo
did.
may
okay.
scene doon na medyo parang in bad
Trigger.
release na.
It would trigger some
would trigger,
readers.
yeah.
So my take
didn't
is
know that.
it's very Nolan. It's very Nolan-esque. Tama din si Patrick. I mean, after the second part where Heath Ledger did quite a performance, somehow the third movie managed to keep up. It had a lot of surprises though, from Miranda
True.
Tate to Robin and all those things. So
Yeah,
Basta-
there's so many theses.
and yeah, probably I'll share some of my thoughts as we go along the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
You
A bit
have-
later.
You have my you have my permission to go live.
So, ayun, thanks,
Nice.
Jess. Sir Jay, I know you're
Yeah,
also a
so-
big Batman fan.
So,
so,
and
alam mo,
naalala ko dito.
people, hindi alam ng tao na meron tayong ginawang pod before. Na
Yes,
yung The Batman. Diba?
Pinag-usapan natin yung The Batman, review natin yung The Batman, and some of the things na siguro sasabihin ko dito, nabanggit ko doon, like, ikukwento ko muna that pinanood ko tong The Dark Knight Rises 10 years ago, first screening, nag-leave ako sa work. First screening, first day. So nag-leave ako sa work. And nung kinagabi nun, pinanood ko ulit naman with my wife. So twice ko pinanood in that day. Pinanood ko din in that day. So nung pinanood ko siya for the first time, nakwento ko kay JM to, umiyak ako dun sa ending. Naiyak ako sa ending.
Oh my.
And because parang, and spoilery review naman to, di ba? Definitely.
Yeah.
You can say
It's
spoilers.
been 10
Spoil a
years.
10-year movie, di ba?
You can't. Exactly. It's 10 years old. You can't spoil it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one song
anyway,
actually.
we know na there's a scene na si Batman, he sacrificed his life for Gotham. And yun yung yung pinaka nakakaiyak na scene doon. Ang ganda ng music, yung moment. Then pinanood ko ulit because for this review, nag-prepare ako by watching it again. And kanina ko pinanood pinanood ko yung first half kagabi, kanina yung second half. And guess what? Naiyak na naman ako dun sa scene. Exact scene na yon. Kahit na alam kong si Batman is buhay din naman sa dulo. Ganun kaganda
Very
yung pagkakagawa
ambiguous
niya.
yung ending niya, Sir Jay, di ba?
Very
Sobrang
Nolan.
ambiguous.
It's honestly
It's a Nolan ending.
Yeah.
Makes
Honestly,
it bigger.
Nolan's got this style to him. Honestly, when you watch his movie,
Open-ended.
Yeah. So you don't
it has
know
its own flavor.
You don't know if imagination siya ni Alfred or
Exactly.
it's really what's happening.
So,
Pero
very
we can debate
Inception-ish.
about it later. Gusto ko to, and may mga surprises dito na parang, let's say, si Miranda Tate is Talia.
Yes. I'll go.
Nagulat pa rin ako because
Likewise.
nag-lie in the front of our face yung actress when she was asked if you're playing Talia. And tayo naman, we're suckers, naniwala tayo sa kanya, okay, she's not playing Talia.
And we never expected she was the child.
We
She got
never
out of the
expected. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
really a big twist.
We always Bane. We thought it was Bane, but it turns
ang
out
galing.
Yes, I thought it
Ano.
was Bane as well.
I thought it was
Oh, yeah.
Bane. Everyone thought it was Bane. Because hindi natin alam that the actress is allowed to lie.
Yes.
Para, hindi niya sinabi niya, no, I'm not Talia. straight out lies. Kaya and it added to
Saan niya
to the
sinabi yun?
surprise.
Sa movie
Sa
niya ba
interview.
sinabi yun? O
Yes,
sa
when
as
she was
interviews?
Sa interview.
Okay.
twisting the
Sa
knife.
interview.
Ah,
Yeah.
Hindi, sa movie niya
Oh,
sinabi.
wow.
But leading up to it, may mga
May
interviews.
interview din, yep.
People were asking her kung,
Mm.
hey, are you playing Talia? No, I'm not. Parang, sorry, guys.
Wow.
So,
She's
nag-lie
a
siya.
great actor.
Galing.
She's a great
Galing.
actress.
Ang galing. So anyway, that's my take about
Simple
the
take for now.
movie.
Mamaya
Yep.
mag-uusap pa tayo ng medyo malalim-lalim. So Jerald, I know you just watched it earlier. Pero ano yung ano mo? Ano naalala mo?
Well, kanina, the biggest joy in watching Nolan films is yung technicality ng writing. It's if kumbaga this kanina while watching it again, makikita mo yung yung masterclass ng script writing na ginagawa ni ni
Yeah.
I don't know who wrote the script itself, yung mga
Jonathan
lines
yata,
mismo.
no? Yung
Pero ang
yung
ganda
screenshot.
ng pagka gawa, and it's ang maganda sa kanya kasi is minsan pag nag-uusap tayo, 'di ba? During your day, 'di ba? Tapos parang meron kang highlight na parang astig yung nangyari na yun, 'di ba? So kukunin niya 'yon. Tapos kumbaga every scene is a piece of the puzzle na nung buong picture, nung buong movie, and you can go back to those scenes kung paano gagawing magkaroon ng sense yung the rest. So yun yung hindi rin kasi linear yung pagkagawa ng yung pagka storytelling ni Nolan dito sa sa Dark Knight, kasi mayroong mga flashbacks, and I think yung paggawa nung yung masterclass of storytelling nga itong The Dark Knight Rises. The same with the previous the previous movies. Pero yung every line kasi has has meaning, and kumbaga may dahilan kung bakit binanggit. So pag nilasap mo yung mga yon, you would have a greater appreciation of the art of storytelling because of this movie.
I agree.
True.
And kanina nung rewatch ko, namamangha ako dun sa wittiness ng pagkakapasok ng mga lines, and in character pa, kunwari pag sinabi ni Selena Kyle, yung parang, sorry about that gun thing. I don't have a good... ang ganda ng pagkakasabi niya.
Okay.
And also, isa pang na-appreciate ko dito is kasi ngayon yung mga MCU movies, yung mga yung mga Easter eggs, 'di ba? Meron din dito, pero hindi, it's not as blatant, it's not as parang 'di ba? Parang
subtlety. It's subtle.
Hindi siya parang there's this logo yung shield ni Captain America doon sa Iron Man, 'di ba? Visual yung ibang well, nothing wrong with that. Pero dito parang may callback sa culture ni Batman na
exactly. From comics to the animated series.
Meron siyang callback dun sa hindi yung yung Easter eggs dito is yung kultura ni Batman 'di ba? Hindi siya basta visual na that's parang sasabihin yung pangalan ng isang character na obscure sa comics, 'di ba? Yung may mga ganong Easter eggs sa Marvel which is okay din naman for to parang shout out sa fans yun Pero dito sa Nolan films, ano ba yung nalimutan ko yung yung isang sumasayaw sila sa yung first time na nagkita ulit si Selena Kyle at si Bruce Wayne.
Call sa Batman Returns, yung yung scene. So yun
meron siyang dialogue meron siyang line na sinabi that tells something about Batman. Nalimutan ko lang. Mamaya titingnan ko.
It actually shows Nolan and his team. They really how do you say, research on the lore be it from the
Oh,
comic books or be it from the animated series. Kasi there are some characters talaga if you're really familiar with the pop culture of Batman, you will identify them out. Considering they're not really directly the characters na Nolan is referring to the mythos. For example, yung isa dyan si Daggett,
Oh, yes.
played
Yeah.
by
Nasa,
Ben Mendel.
nasa, nasa
He's
beta
John
siya.
John Daggett dun. Pero
Sa
sa animated
animated
series,
series.
si Roland Daggett,
Roland
in which
Daggett.
in which the fans theorize na si Roland is actually the father of John Daggett. Si Roland Daggett sa animated series is this guy na parang si Norman Osborn, red hair, tapos corrupt big pharma businessman who was responsible for the creation of Clayface.
Yeah.
Pero dito,
Okay.
he took a Daggett and named him as John. So ayun, naging iconic si Daggett na sinabihan siya ni Bane, and you have power, and this means you have power over me.
Ang ganda ng mga lines. Ang galing ng mga lines.
Iconic. Meme worthy din eh.
Yes.
Oo.
I know.
They're parang tawag doon, very quotable yung ibang mga quotes dito sa
Yes.
yung mga lines.
Absolutely.
And you're imitating Bane. You're imitating Bane. Lalo ko nung unang nilabas nila yung...
what will break first.
Honestly.
Nung unang linabas nila yung first few minutes ng film, unintelligible yung boses ni Bane.
Exactly.
true.
Ang hirap. I had to watch it
Walang
with subtitles.
Muffled.
Walang
Muffled
makaintindi.
kasi.
Sobrang muffled and walang and nag course correct si Nolan. Good for him that he did that. And from then on, ito yung naging iconic voice ni Bane whenever meron siyang lalabas siya sa mga animated series. Kahit sa Lego Batman nga ganun yung boses. Ito yung naging iconic voice ni Bane. Sa Lego Batman, ito yung voice niya. Sa ibang animated series, sa Harley Quinn, lumabas si Bane, ganun yung boses niya ngayon eh. So, iconic na ngayon yun.
Hardy delivered, actually. He made a good
So,
Bane.
siguro for me, when I watched this movie, siguro around 10 times na rin. Though, now that I watch it again, knowing how I dissect films, dito ko na-realize na ang dami ko na-miss before. Sobra dami. Yung mga Easter eggs nga na tawa ako ng tawa, realize na yung nakaupo yung tao, nagpapalinis ng sapatos. And then, how are you going to determine this? I flipped a coin. So, sino yun? Diba? Yung mga tipong gano'n.
Oo, diba?
Yun yung sinasabi ni Sir Jerald na as compared to Marvel na lantaran masyado, here, it works na hindi mo kailangan ipagmalaki. Parang
ito nakita ko na kung ano yung part na sinasabi ko sa na Easter egg.
Sa ballroom
dance.
Easter egg to the culture, not just parts of the comics.
Madami dun eh. Sa part na yun.
Kasi nakalagay dito parang the first time they met again pala, second time pala kasi they met dun sa bahay nung nagnanakaw sa Selena, di ba? So,
burglary.
Ang sabi niya is teka, pe-play ko lang so nagkita sila, parang sabi ni Selena is buti lang may subtitles to. Teka, hanapin ko lang.
Sige.
Don't condescend Mr. Wayne. You don't know a thing about me. Tapos, well, Selena, I know you came here from your walk up. Teka. Basically, parang the callback is yung identity, parang questioning kung sino si Selena, 'di ba? Ngayon, she parang threw it back at him. Tapos sabi niya, ngayon nagpe-pretend ako to be an eccentric billionaire. 'Di ba? That is a callback to the culture of Batman. 'Di ba? Kasi ang lore is Batman is Bruce Wayne is
the
really Batman.
alter ego.
Yes, and Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. Diba? Diba? That's brilliant script writing. If you ask me. Galing.
Alam mo sino din kasama niyan, Nolan? Kasama ni Nolan dito sa film na to. It's David S. Goyer. So, syempre.
Yeah, Goyer.
Goyer.
Goyer was also responsible for the rise of Blade, diba? So,
Yeah.
Oo nga.
so
Eh-
maganda talaga yung each and every time nakasama si Goyer sa film. But again, my thoughts on this movie, again, when I watched it kahapon, I picked up a lot of things na hindi ko na pick up before. One na nga yun, and also yung mismong motivations ni Bane, which is very funny. Dapat na pick up ko na dati. Pero siguro mamaya natin pag-usapan. And also,
Yeah.
how
Okay.
There's a lot
relatable
about
good.
Bane on this
Yeah.
movie.
Sige.
how relatable si John Blake as a person? Parang siya yung pinaka pag in-insert mo yung
Si
sarili mo.
Robin.
Ikaw si John Blake talaga dito sa movie na to. As a normal
Siguro
person.
maybe we can make para mas ang suggestion ko is let's start parang reviewing the first part and then
Yeah,
second
we're
part.
going to do that, sir.
Sige.
So
Okay.
simulan na natin sa first part siguro. Sige sa'yo, sir. Sir
Yung
Jerald.
opening, 'di ba? Sa
Yung
opening
opening.
opening sequence nung dun sa airplane heist, 'di ba? It's
The Hooded Man.
Ang galing
Diba?
nun.
Oh, yeah.
it has the right
Wala siya. Anyway, mamaya.
kumbaga, it has
Sir.
the right parang kumbaga just right na hindi man over the top na intensity, sakto lang just to get you into the feel of the movie. Kasi nag-open pala siya, nag-speech siya si Gordon. So it set the premise kung ano yung mundo
Yung
ng
tone.
Gotham ano yung status nung Gotham City that
From the
time
second
na
movie.
nagkaroon ng yung Dent Act na tawag nila kasi so there's peace parang dun sa Watchmen, 'di ba? Parang merong peace pero the peace was based on a lie.
Alive.
Parang they created a hero out of a villain. Tapos hindi alam ng mga tao na villain pala si Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent,
And-
the White
And
Knight.
the hero and the actual hero was villainized, which is Batman. Tapos who went into hiding after that. And then there's peace na nakita naman ng mga tao. Pero alam mo yun, when there's peace, parang everybody feels that there's a storm coming in slowly, 'di ba? Ganun yung mood ng nung
Yun yung introduction
Movie.
kay Bane.
Premise.
Oo, 'di ba? Tapos saka pumasok yung yung heist.
If you see
Although-
yung environment nung opening na yon, lalo na yung sa nasa aeroplanon sila, kitang-kita mo ay dumidilim yung lugar. So yung parang
Oh.
storm is coming,
Mm.
nakahalata mo na siya. Kaya pinanood ko ulit, syempre, you know this stuff na sinabi na within the movie. And you get to, realize na, nga, no? Parang magsisimula ng bumagyo nung nandun na sila sa loob ng aeroplano. Or at least nararamdaman mo na. And then
Hindi
they
siya
talked about it.
CGI. Hindi siya
Yeah,
CGI.
exactly.
Because
It's
right now,
Nolan.
ang mga pelikula, they'll
Nolan.
make it CGI. Kung
It's
gagawa
Nolan.
ng ganong stunt. So,
It's like he has
Nolan
an allergy. He's allergic to CGI.
Oo.
Tsaka Nolan seems to have how do you say a fascination towards anything militaristic. The Hercules
Yeah.
bomber is always featured. Ayun sa, 'di ba? They used the Hercules bomber to
Yep.
raid on sa private plane. Tapos
yeah.
ano yun? Yung agent, played by that guy sa Game of Thrones, si Littlefinger.
Yes.
Aiden Gillen.
Aiden
Gillen.
Yes.
Gillen.
Yeah.
Gillen.
Siya ba yun? Yung
Yes.
nagpaiwan?
Game of Thrones yun.
Si
Hindi,
Game
siya
of
yung-
Thrones. Si
Oo
Littlefinger.
nga, no? Oo nga, no? Siya
Ayun.
nga.
Siya yung
Oo nga,
pero
yeah.
it's like when you go back to The Dark Knight, nakalimutan ko yung actor na yung may barel, yung police,
May
yung sa
pare.
bangko. And also, may
Yung may shotgun.
Yung may shotgun.
Shotgun. Yung inano ni
Ano
Joker
yun?
sa umpisa.
Di ba parang may
He's
ano
always-
si Nolan na we're going to play someone here na kilala din. Pero hindi
Yeah.
na nila gagamitin. Parang it's like an extra or cameo na medyo extended cameo na magsasalita sila. I'm not sure with Batman Begins Up kung meron doon. Pero when it comes here, parang corrupt sila dito, di ba?
Mm.
Yep.
Sinong corrupt?
department. Yung ano,
Oo,
yung
yeah.
whole-
Littlefinger.
The whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger. With an American accent, of course.
Yes.
Kaya, di ba, I think Bane was also smart enough to discern na he was just bluffing throwing them out. Kaya doon mo nakita yung brilliance ni Bane eh. He's not the usual muscle-bound villain that ano yun, yung
From
Batman and Robin ni Schumacher.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Di ba? Sabi niya,
I
why
forgot
would you...
about that. May ganun nga
Eh,
parang incarnation si Bane.
Dati actually kala ko ganun. Di kasi ako nagbabasa ng comics dati ng Batman. So kala ko talaga ganun si Bane. Di ko alam na si Bane was
Vengeance of
parang huge,
Genius,
hugely
tactical genius.
he's tactical.
disserviced by that
Vengeance
movie.
of Bane, he's similar to Batman in circumstance. Kumbaga, he had to pay the crimes of his parents. So, kinulong siya sa isang prison na tinatawag Peña Duro. So, from teenager to adulthood, he was locked in a cell na tuwing gabi, nag-elevate yung tubig. So, if you don't have the strength to survive, you'll drown. Pero what he did was he survived every night feeding on the fishes na pumapasok. Doon siya nabuhay. Tapos he educated himself. He fought mga inmates. Talagang survival. He had a very, very rough life. So talagang formidable opponent siya. Not only physically but mentally as well. Kaya when sa scene na when Littlefinger, Aiden Gillen was bluffing, throwing the terrorists.
Yeah.
Alam niya na eh, nung nagsalita siya under the hood eh. Parang doon ako na-impress na wow.
Oo. Alam niya na.
Mukhang si Bane
Parang
ito tsaka
Parang may
Nolan's
sinabi siya, di
delivery.
ba, na may sinabi siya na
Why
one
would you
Yeah. Yung
parang
sinabi
ganun.
niya.
Why would you shoot the person
Before throwing off
him?
the plane.
Yeah.
Diba? And
So
I
then-
think the agent did not know he was Bane yet.
Not yet.
Diba?
Pero anong explanation bakit 'di ba merong part doon na yung target nila parang
yung doctor.
blood transfusion siya to parang mukhang meron silang dummy na katawan doon.
Para sa
Or-
DNA test.
Decoy.
Oo,
no,
'di ba
parang-
sa DNA
okay,
para
tama.
pag tiningnan
Crash.
siya yung this is
Ayun
the
yung
right
doctor.
person.
And medyo
no?
may kailangan mo ng,
Yeah.
ng suspension of disbelief dyan dahil pwede mo
Oo nga,
i-DNA
diba?
test, hindi yung blood eh. Yung
Oo, 'di ba?
pwedeng hair or
Yes. Oh yeah.
hindi
Yeah.
yun lang.
si
Diba?
Dr. Patel.
Pero talagang ganun si Nolan. He's into the details.
Oo, 'di ba? Meron
Such as
siyang
the first
details.
movie.
Yeah.
Like the explanation of the Batman's equipment, armory, vehicles. Dito, kahit yung raid, Hercules bomber, tapos parang magrarapel yung mga terrorists to rip it off. Parang,
also,
wow, stuff
ang
of
galing
comic
nung-
books eh.
Yung ito yung isa pang brilliant script writing na sinasabi ko. By putting in little details in the story, like dun sa airplane scene nung tatakas na sila, one of the guys were parang buckling himself up. Tapos sabi niya, no, my friend, no brother, parang ano ka.
one of us. The record.
They're expecting one of us para na
Galing.
makita nila, 'di ba?
And yung
Nakita
David,
mo yung
diba?
With that scene, a few seconds, he parang relayed the message that this organization is
chilling.
a very loyal organization, and they
Fanatical.
meron silang at saka meron silang honor na talagang ina-uphold to the highest degree, to the point that you would willingly, without question, sacrifice yourself, your own life, just to go along
With the cause.
yung sa cause at saka dun sa plano. So ganun klase ang mga soldiers ni Bane, diba?
And
Yes.
actually, one of the questions in my mind, though, it made me think kung they're still part of the League of Shadows. Kasi as we go along at later parts, Bane would actually lecture Bruce Wayne na he was born in the shadows. So parang napaisip ako, yung mga tauhan niya ba yun? Are they part of Ra's al Ghul's posse, or talagang mga handpick niya lang as he went along? Kasi parang sa approach dito ni Nolan, it's similar to the books. There was actually a series na si Bane was supposed to be parang a worthy successor to being the parang magiging
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul's son-in-law. Kaso parang hindi nagustuhan ni Ra's, so parang na-excommunicated siya from that. Dito parang ganun din. It's it has a similar approach in which as we later would find out, Bane was actually not not favored by the father. So ayun, it made me think kung yung mga tauhan niya is actually from the League of Shadows as well. That's a big question mark in my head actually.
Well, yung
I don't remember
isang
na rin first sila na ganun.
probably
Na
merong
Yeah,
ano,
possibility.
merong iba, meron siguro mga select few na parang na train ni Bane and
Pwede.
to
Yeah.
reach the level of loyalty nung dun sa dun
Mhm.
sa plane na yung nagpaiwan. Pero 'di ba ang way to recruit them is yung mga nasa orphanage, pupunta sila dun sa sewers eh, 'di ba? Tapos
Yeah.
so I suppose may yung mga bagong salta like yung dalawang pinatay ni Bane nung dumating nung nagdala kay Gordon dun sa sewers, 'di ba? So pinatay niya kasi medyo engot eh. Dinala mo yung 'di ba? Dinala mo yung commissioner dun sa hideout niyo.
Tama.
So ngayon kailangan
Na-recruit
mong patayin
Teka,
siguro hindi
pinatay ba
naman
niya yung
siguro
isa?
gustong
Oo,
Hindi niya
pinatay niya.
yung isa eh.
Pinatay
Kasi
niya.
nakakatawa yung
pinatay
dialogue
niya
niya.
pareho.
Naalala mo yung dialogue niya.
pinatay niya
Go
parehas.
follow him, tapos binigyan siya
pero binaril
ng
niya.
radyo.
Oo, 'di ba?
Pero
Di ba
binaril
so-
niya. Binaril niya.
Oo nga.
So
Yun yung
yun,
pinapansin ko na-
hindi pa yung top
Go.
tier na soldier ni
Oo,
mga
mga-
minion pa lang yun. So hindi pa sila lahat
Disposable
hindi pa sila lahat.
henchmen.
No.
So,
Wala pa
ayun
sila
nga.
hindi pantay-pantay ang level ng mga followers ni Bane. So may hierarchy siguro.
What's your reaction guys sa nung ilalabas na dapat ni Commissioner Gordon yung papel and then bigla niya tinago.
Oh.
Oo nga 'di ba?
After 8
Jay,
years,
Ano
you know?
siya?
Si Jay, si Sir Jay,
Yeah.
tingnan natin.
Makes you
Medyo you know what, I don't know kung gusto nyo, kung okay lang pag-usapan ang thing na malapit sa culture dito sa movie na
Of
to.
course.
Go ahead.
But it is something na nangyayari sa culture wherein yung truth is like
Tatakot siya
put
makancel.
in the sidelines for something na comfortable isipin.
Convenient for them.
Convenient. And maraming mga bagay ngayon sa kultura natin wherein sinasantabi natin yung truth for an identity based on a lie. So, hindi ko na sasabihin specifically kung ano yung tinutukoy ko. Pero medyo, para sa akin, ewan ko lang medyo, nung pinanood ko ulit kanina, parang itong mga tao ni Bane, malapit ito sa mga socialist na Antifa eh.
Yeah, totoo.
True.
Parang mga
Actually,
BLM
anarchist.
sila. Parang sila yung mga BLM na naglulot ng mga
The
tindahan.
fire rises!
Kaya mukhang sila yung ganon. And I think yun yung na isip ko while I'm watching the movie. And I doubt na may movie na kagaya nito na may ipapalabas ngayon based on how favored sa culture yung BLM and Antifa.
Oh
Kasi
God.
They will be the ones na bida ngayon sa
Cancelled.
Yeah. I doubt may magagawang ganitong movie in this day and age. So yeah, yun yung masasabi ko.
Ikaw, Sir Jacob. Any thoughts dun sa na yun? Gumagalaw yung camera ni Sir.
Oo nga eh.
Yeah.
Ninayos ko kasi yung table ko.
May tumataas.
Oo eh. Nayos ko. Actually wala naman akong masyadong reaction doon. Parang it just set up to me, it just set up yung mindset ni Commissioner Gordon at that time na parang this is a world na parang ang message sa akin nun is parang what we have right now is a little bit yung value niya for that time is good enough to keep it a secret, parang ganun yung whether it's correct or not, yun yung mindset ni Gordon parang at that point in time, di ba?
Parang may identity politics
Necessary evil.
They identified Batman as a villain and identified
Yes.
Harvey Dent as a hero.
So, kasi that that eats him up eh. Na parang siya
Yes.
yung witness
Siya yung
dun eh,
receiving
'di ba?
end, di ba? Siya yung receiving end
Mm.
talaga ng lahat ng
At saka
The Dark
yung pamilya niya yung niligtas, 'di ba?
Mm.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Yeah.
Yung pamilya niya yung niligtas ni ano, 'di ba? Tapos ngayon parang yung taong
He had to villainize the
niligtas
one who
sa
saved his family's
Oo,
life.
'di ba? So
Yep.
tama ba? Pamilya nga ba ni Gordon yung niligtas niya?
Yes,
Oh,
it's right.
from
Yeah.
Harvey
Oo,
Daughter,
Dent.
diba?
daughter niya, di ba?
'Di ba?
And it was
Kasama yung
heavy for
asawa.
him considering his di ba yung moral compass niya is he does the right thing. So talagang
Mm.
I would imagine the 8 years of Batman being in hiding was pretty heavy for
Dormant.
him. So
Yeah.
parang I think he was almost parang he wanted to let it out na to just take it off his chest pero hindi niya lang alam eh.
Oo. So hindi niya kasi meron naman siyang ano eh. I think merong actually hindi pa ako dumadating dun sa part na kung anong klaseng kita niya kasi yung corruption.
Nung binasa
At
ni
saka-
Bane yung speech, yung supposed speech ni Jim Gordon sa uli, I can't imagine kung paano niya babasahin yung speech na yun in front of all the people na sa kanya magagaling.
They were living a lie.
I can't imagine. Ang hirap imaginein kung si Jim
Ang ganda
Gordon
nga
ang
eh.
nagsasabi ng
Yeah,
speech na yun.
I mean, imagine they write a story in this manner that even characters like Gordon, ma-feel mo yung burden eh of what his role has to play.
The stakes.
Kaya,
diba?
the stakes, ang galing talaga.
Uh,
Concerning
Pat,
the
ikaw,
books have also provided such scenarios.
how about you, Pat? Any reaction dun sa
Yeah,
ginawa ni
I
Gordon
agree.
hindi pagbasa the first time?
Yeah, honestly, it's a sort of a necessary evil.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
if he tells the truth about it, then all hell might break loose.
The Dent Act.
Yes.
What is the Dent Act specifically
Yeah,
talaga? Ano bang sinasabi nun? What it prohibits or what? Ano bang
Ang alam ko parang
Dent
hindi mas harsh yung yung penalty kung
For
yung mga
for
for
vigilantes.
criminals. Parang ganun eh.
Basically, being a vigilante is worse than being a criminal.
Okay, so nandito
Anyway.
siya. Mayor announces his signing of the Dent Act. This morning, Mayor Anthony Garcia signed the Dent Act. The legislation passed unanimously by the City Assembly will bolster the city's campaign against organized crime.
Anyway, guys, may isa-segue ako.
pang-organized
May isa-segue ako. And this is the scene right after that. Bakit umabot tayo ng 46 minutes at hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan si Anne Hathaway as Catwoman?
Yan masyado niya minadali.
Dahil
Dahil
umabot na tayo ng 46 minutes at this discussion.
Honest.
Actually,
next scene
iniisip ko,
after that
because the next
is-
scene, I mean,
Yeah,
we're not
yun
gonna
na.
go through it scene by scene, pero yung mga importante scene talaga. And it's one of
Okay.
the most important scenes.
Next
Yeah,
after
Anne
Gordon
Hathaway.
for sure. Next after Gordon for sure.
Oh, pero yung,
Anne
when it
Hathaway.
comes to the Dent Act dun kasi, it's basically honoring Harvey Dent's quote-unquote sacrifice. Yung pagiging ano niya, di ba? DA niya, yung marami din siya nakulong na mga masasamang tao. And also,
Yeah.
making that distinction that he's a hero talaga.
The White
Parang
Knight.
hindi, yeah, and it's hard for me not to side on that, yung aspect na yun. Because I cannot count Harvey Dent and Two-Face as one person. Kasi kung yun ang titignan natin, yeah, definitely mali. But if you see it in a bigger picture, wala na sa katinuan si Harvey when it comes to ano.
Honestly, yes.
He broke.
Diba? Two-Face.
Yeah,
An
break
agent
siya.
of chaos.
Hindi naman
Yeah.
kasi nila pwede lagay yung parang the Two-Face act, di ba? Parang mukhang tanga
Yeah,
lang. But,
true.
the public never saw Two-Face eh. The
No.
public never saw Two-Face.
well, most of them didn't.
Ang nakakita lang ng Two-Face is yung
Family.
mga kawal ni actually hindi naman si Dent
That's a
ang
plot hole.
hindi si Dent ang pinuno ng mga masasama doon, si Joker eh. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Parang Dent wala pa siyang minions niya.
Loose
Ah,
canon si ano eh. Si Two-Face sa The Dark Knight, di ba?
si
Yes,
si
yes.
Right.
Harvey Dent is a pawn of the Joker in ano. Parang tool siya. Parang yun ang ginawa ni Joker, gumawa siya ng antithesis ni ni Batman. And
An agent
yung
of
good
chaos.
yung the good person, yung face ng good ng Gotham, ginawa niyang masama.
Can be corrupted.
Oh,
Oo.
'di ba? So the
Corrupting the
best
white
of
Success
you,
story ni Joker si
yun ang
Two-Face,
message
di ba?
ni Joker. Yung message ni Joker, the best of you is not good enough. Yun ang ano niya. Yun
Just
ang
another
sinasabi
bad
niya.
day.
Oh, just another bad day, which
Yeah.
is
Yes.
di ba?
Diba?
Sa-
Anyway, before we proceed, I just like to acknowledge yung mga tao, hindi pa natin nababasa yung mga nag-tune in kanina. Basically,
yes,
may mga Bandito
there's-
gamers, may mga ginagawa yan, pero sila Henry, and also Jerome Paul, which he also has his own podcast. And sir, mukhang kilala ka yata, Sir Jerald,
Hey, Jerald.
Small World. So,
Teka, I'm gonna have to check. Sige.
si
I
si
saw a
Dasman.
comment
Sir, good
somewhere
evening.
there.
PJ. Ito si PJ.
That
May
one.
sinasabi si PJ.
Here.
The Dark Knight with Joker and Spider-Man 2 shattered the stigma that sequels are supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Kaya grabe ang comparison ng mga sequel movies dun. I think Winter Soldier lang nakasabay na sequel that is better than the first. Actually, bumaba yung tingin ko sa Winter Soldier. Nung in-analyze ko yung movie, bumaba yung tingin ko sa kanya. Pero, it's still a good movie. Yun naman sabi ko, next time na siguro yun. Si Jay Bertol from Losing Streak Gaming, dumaan din. Si Grim. Grim is here. I believe the goons are from, yung kanina, are from
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, no?
From
Yun
Kumu,
nga.
may nanonood dun sa atin sa
Oh.
Kumu,
Basta
by the way.
California.
Yun, good evening,
Baka
guys.
California
From
lang.
Kumu.
Mga
Yeah, good
California.
from Kumu. Under, Sir Jerald's stream
Yes.
via Kumu. Good evening,
para
mga guys.
para
If you-
magkaroon ng activity lang. So thank you for letting me stream this on Kumu.
Anthony
Alright.
Sanchez is
Galing.
here. Kasama ko lang siya last week when we broke down the stupid
Resident Evil
from Netflix.
90210.
Oh
my
god.
Ayan, so
90210.
Jess is live.
Rinig niyo yun?
90210. Yeah.
Come on. Sige.
Hindi kasi ganito yun.
Okay.
Siguro singit ko lang din. Naglabas kasi yung IGN ng review ng Resident Evil Netflix sa 7 out of 10, which na hindi ko pwedeng palampasin. So, anyway, siguro next
Yeah,
time.
took you
Okay.
3 hours to get through it.
Okay, balik tayo sa Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Ibigay natin
Right.
ang floor
Gordon.
kay KJ Aruga, and let's talk about
nga eh.
Anne Hathaway.
Yes,
Actually,
finally.
sabihin ko, before
Finally.
Dent
Teka,
Dent
na pa
Act,
ako.
jumping from Dent Act, diba?
Okay.
May sasabihin ka ba sa Dent Act? Wala na.
Wala na.
Let's move from the Dent Act, then
Yun nga,
talk about
from
Anne
that-
Hathaway na, guys.
Yan.
Kasi
ano,
very ambiguous yung ginawa na transition
Flip a coin
ni
first,
Nolan.
guys. Flip a
diba?
coin.
Ni Nolan from a very serious theme kay Jim Gordon, and then pakita natin to napakagandang babae to, which is Anne Hathaway, aka Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. So
The
Sir
unassuming.
Jay,
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what
Explain
I
it.
love, and what
what
I
do you
love
love about her?
this movie is superb din yung acting. And
Akala ko
specifically
si Anne
kay...
Hathaway.
Hindi, specifically kay Anne Hathaway. Ang
Yeah.
galing niya mag-switch from one expression to the next. Like, for instance, nung unang scene na pinakita siya,
Kitchen help.
sa kitchen, she was acting as a parang
Server.
waitress or server,
Mm.
di ba? Tapos nung sumigaw pa siya nung pinana ni Bruce Wayne, tapos sorry, Mr. Wayne, sorry.
Oo, di ba?
Oh,
Tapos nung
galing eh.
biglang na-discover ni Bruce
Pearls.
Wayne na nanakaw yung
Pearls.
parang yung
Mother's
pearls, parang
pearls.
the manufacturer said that this is uncrackable. Oops, biglang nag-sultry voice siya eh, di ba? Nag-change siya from
Oops.
waitress.
Kasi busted, di ba? Okay.
Nung nabust siya, parang biglang nag-sultry voice, Selena Kyle Catwoman siya eh. Kaya ang galing nung transition. May isa pang scene na humanga ako kay Anne Hathaway, yung binibigay niya yung fingerprints, di ba? Naalala niyo yun?
Kay Daggett.
Kay Daggett. And hindi pa kay Daggett yun eh.
Yung assistant niya.
Assistant niya.
Yep.
Tapos parang may action scene siya dun eh. Sinipa-sipa niya yung mga tauhan nung
Nakatutok
Nung-
na yung mga barrel sa kanya.
nakatutok.
that
Tapos
time.
nang
Yep.
babaril siya. Then pagpasok ng mga polis, sumigaw siya, Parang galing na decision, di ba?
Oo.
Oh,
Yung
yeah.
politician yun eh.
Oh, yung
Oo,
politician.
galing.
Yung
Uh,
politician.
Ang lupit ng acting. And kung
I
i-compare
know.
mo, sorry, but guys, hindi ko ma-compare si Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle, kay
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne
Ah,
Selena Kyle.
Hathaway.
It's miles.
Anne
we don't sabi
Hathaway.
nga ni
Anne Hathaway
ni tawag
Anne
dito,
Hathaway.
Just for the
ni
That's all I
acting.
T'Challa.
can.
May sinabi si
Yeah.
T'Challa but we don't do that here.
Exactly.
Diba? Wag natin compare yung dalawa.
Exactly.
But
Anyway,
Anyway,
Sir Jay, continue.
just for the
anyway,
acting.
that scene,
Yung acting lang.
that
Yeah.
scene where I forgot which scene was it when
She gave the fingerprints.
the one she was fighting some guys and then she pinned the
Yun nga.
one guy she pinned the guy to the wall and then one hand was
si Daggett yun.
and then she was holding up the guy's hand, kept pinning the guy's hand on the wall with her leg. I'm like,
Yeah,
holy
yeah,
shit.
The heel.
Oh.
The heel.
So Jerald, ikaw.
Ang galing.
And
to think,
comments? Right.
Blood
think
is
that-
running everywhere in my mind and everywhere else.
And she got the Nolan treatment. Yung parang kung si Batman was explained with rappelling tool siya, yung visor niya acted like cat ears when
Yes,
she's...
medyo tricky
Ah,
kasi si
yeah.
Catwoman when you adapt her sa mga movies, especially if you try to do the realistic
Yes.
thing.
Exactly. Which
The
Nolan...
realistic approach.
So they tried yung goggles na nagdo-double as cat ears.
Yes.
Doon naman sa sa kay The Batman is like yung
Listening
hoodie,
tools.
yung niya, yung bonnet niya na sideways ang pagkakasuot. So it looks like cat ears. Medyo tricky si Catwoman eh.
Well,
Unlike
actually, yun, yun parang ode yata sa, or homage yun sa pinakauna. Diba? Yun sa The Batman. Pinakaunang version ni Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer? Or which
No.
one?
Meron
sa
Newman?
Adam West Batman?
No, I mean yung
Comics.
yung mismong art. As far as I can remember, merong ginamit din si Catwoman.
Yeah.
Bonnet. Diba?
May-
Parang
may-
siya ginamit.
May hood.
Parang year 1 yata din, di ba? Nasa year 1
may year
yata
one
yun eh.
may year one attire dun sa sa The Batman, definitely yung ano niya, yung leather. So that's one yung year 1 attire niya. But I don't
Anyway,
remember yung
Anne
bonnet.
Hathaway. Anne Hathaway
yeah,
tayo.
of course. Anyway, galing,
Yeah.
galing ng acting ni
Can't go wrong with
Anne
Anne
Hathaway.
Hathaway.
Yes.
Ikaw, Sir Jerald.
And wait, may dadagdag lang ako.
Meron pa.
Medyo
It's a masterpiece.
medyo left-leaning tong Anne Hathaway nito. Both Zoe Kravitz and Anne Hathaway,
I think
Selena
both
Kyle.
Socialist.
din. Even
Socialist,
si,
both
din,
socialist.
Si Michelle Pfeiffer din, di ba?
May crazy Catwoman si Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh,
so
corporate,
medyo,
corporate
hindi ko
slave.
alam kung ano ang political leaning niya. But these two Catwoman, si Anne Hathaway and Zoe Kravitz, are
Everything
both
are socialist.
socialist Catwoman. But hindi ako naiinis kay Anne Hathaway for some reason. Hindi siya yung nakakainis na na
It's the
left-leaning
writing.
person. Yes, that's what I mean. It's the writing. Nakakainis yung Zoe Kravitz Catwoman because sobrang SJW niya. Not to say na hindi naman SJW din tong si Anne Hathaway Catwoman, but hindi siya
But
yung
better done.
nakakainis na type.
She describes society, or kumbaga she described the reality of society, like the little people will eventually parang get your day. Ganon si Anne Hathaway na Catwoman socialist side. Parang she was just describing on what reality was in regard to Gotham's society. Si
Zoe
si Kravitz was you're a white male, blah blah blah.
Parang lahat ng mga talking points, she just said it one by one, and parang hindi mo alam kung ano.
I think acting wise din.
Well, that's the purpose of the movie eh. So, diba? Yun talaga yung purpose niya. So,
Message.
Yes.
It's
Dito na
din
una yung part.
It's the acting din kung tutuusin.
Yes,
when it
the
comes
acting.
to Anne Hathaway, and I don't want to compare Zoe Kravitz kasi she mops the floor when it comes to acting eh. Not to mention,
baka the material
acting
she's
mas-
given is just like yun lang yung binigay sa kanyang material, di ba?
if you're looking for a real femme fatale, kung papapiliin ka sa lahat ng mga Catwoman na gumanap,
Anne
Anne
Hathaway.
Hathaway is number 1. And Michelle Pfeiffer for me is
Gusto ko pa rin si
always going
Michelle
to be the
Pfeiffer. Gusto ko pa rin si
In
Michelle
some
Pfeiffer.
aspects, maganda yung delivery ni Michelle.
But very
Yep.
close second
Si-
for me si Anne Hathaway.
Si Kravitz
Mm.
kasi parang angry chick eh. Angry SJW. Si Hathaway
Kaya
may
nga.
rage din pero she uses it constructively to her own means. So,
Plus, Anne Hathaway,
Let's-
very the sultriness,
Yeah.
the
So let's say si Anne Hathaway is like left leaning. Si
Ah.
Zoe Kravitz is far left. Parang gano'n ang
okay.
dating.
pretty much.
So far
True.
left.
And you can't blame the Anne Hathaway Catwoman kasi you would understand she's living for survival talaga eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
though the other one was
Both-
living
both of
out
them.
of parang si Kravitz kasi out of the misfortune of her circumstances. Namatay yung nanay niya, ganun-ganun. So she had to live the hard life under the stepfather, under Falcone, parang ganun.
Yeah.
Eh si Hathaway, talagang parang she came from a school of hard knocks eh. Kaya yung alter egos niya, she can slip out of any slippery situation eh. Survival talaga.
And
Siguro ito-
they could mess it up yung si Hathaway. Pwede siyang maging like sobrang feminist na galit sa lalaki. And it will ruin
pero
the movie,
hindi.
di ba? Pero hindi, di ba?
She uses men to her advantage.
Kaya nga,
Di ba yung,
hindi, di ba?
yung
If they-
politician?
If they make this movie right now, si Anne Hathaway would be
Oh,
like
yeah.
an anti-man feminist. And it will
Oh,
ruin the whole
God.
movie.
Yeah,
Which they
that's
almost did.
true.
They almost did it in the Batman, di ba? They almost
They
did
did
it in the
Sa
Batman.
The Batman, they did it.
Mm.
Medyo, you
But
heard the word.
anyway, ayun.
Anyway, go.
Ikaw, Sir Jerald, may dadagdag ka pa kay Anne Hathaway as Catwoman?
It's well, yung about being an SJW, it was a different time. 2012. Hindi pa yun
Hindi pa yung trend.
hindi pa yun hindi pa kumbaga parang budding pa lang during that time yung mga yung mga SJW talking points na yan. Wala pang Me Too,
Definitely.
#Me Too, 'di ba? And ano pa lang noon yung tawag dito yung ang pinaka SJW na nangyari nung time na yon would be I think yung Wall Street
Occupy Wall
Occupy
Street.
Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street. So mga ganun na doon pa lang sa mga yun pa lang ang hindi pa
And si Bane
Hindi pa
is
over-
like yung stock
Hindi
market
pa
ang
over-
tinira niya, di ba?
di ba? Yun yung
with capitalism.
it
Reset
reflects
the
in
system.
the art di ba? Yun ang tinitira niya. Yung financial institutions, yun ang kalaban during those times. Pero ngayon, naging kultura na eh. So, art parang response din talaga yan sa sa mga nangyayari. Pero hindi ko lang alam if Nolan would go to yung level ng alam mo yun, kasi a lot of pettiness had been involved na dun sa mga feminist na mga bago, 'di ba? Mga Marxist feminist. Actually hindi feminist. Hindi na nga hindi na nga feminist ang tawag doon eh. They're really Marxist. They're not feminists anymore if you ask me. So I don't even want to call them feminists anymore. Kasi hindi na yun eh. Hindi na sila feminist kasi for me feminism is equality of the sexes, diba? It's a very different thing. And I am for feminism, pero I'm not for the Marxist bullshit. And ang mangyayari, well, the art during the time reflected what was happening, and Anne Hathaway, I liked her pero hindi ko siya. I think pwede pa siyang pagandahin yung for me dun sa mga main actors, medyo bitin ako dun sa performance ni Anne Hathaway. Maybe it's because of the material, yun yung binigay sa kanya.
Maybe
pero
it's because tatlo sila nandun. Di ba?
Oo nga eh, ang dami. Parang
You got
hindi ko alam
Bale, Hardy, and Hathaway.
Yes,
It's hard
sino
to split the...
Medyo
Yes.
na-disappoint nga ako na nung pinapakita yung pictures nung Selena
Talia
Kyle
nandun
long.
pa.
Hindi, I mean nung mga early pictures ni Selena Kyle, parang long hair siya nung time
Who had the stronger performance? Anne Hathaway or ano? What's the
Miranda
actress
Tate?
name ng kay Talia?
She's French, I forgot.
Basta yun. Which one ang mas
Miranda
stronger
Tate.
performance?
I'd say Anne Hathaway. For me,
Anne Hathaway ka?
Marion
gusto ko yung transition niya na, ano.
Well,
Honestly, yeah, Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway kasi had the longer scenes din naman kasi. So I suppose Anne
Exposure.
Hathaway.
I think when
Well,
it comes to
exposure.
writing,
And
when
I'll
it comes
come
to
clean,
writing,
I'll come clean.
go.
Shipper talaga ako ni Batman at Catwoman kaya biased siguro ako. So,
Well, okay naman.
Well,
If you're gonna compare kasi din sa supporting cast pa din, like syempre si Alfred, 'di ba? Ang galing ni Alfred talaga.
he's a classic.
Kulang,
'di ba?
kulang
Michael
si
Caine
Alfred
is
dito.
classic.
Kulang si Alfred dito.
Kung
Yun yung
gusto mo
sabihin ko.
kung gusto mo daw sabihin yung pangalan ni Michael Caine, sabihin mo lang
Michael
Caine. Michael Caine.
Oo.
Michael
Michael Caine.
Yun yung tamang pag
Cockney.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Cockney.
Isang
Yeah, he's Cockney.
Yes, sir.
if there's one thing na I can say about sa casting nitong the Batman trilogy, yung pagka-cast kay paano ito, Morgan
Alfred?
Freeman.
Oh,
Kay
yeah.
Morgan Freeman,
Lucius Fox.
siya he is so parang so undercasted si
Mm-mm.
I don't know if it's undercasted. Kumbaga parang they could have done
Overshadow
they could have
siya.
used they could have used parang masyadong malaki si Morgan Freeman para dun sa role niya eh.
And
Ganun ang pakaramdam ko, 'di ba?
correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
Guys, mas naging prominent si Lucius
Lucius
Fox sa
because
comics.
of Morgan.
Oo.
Yes.
Morgan
Because of
Freeman.
this.
Yes.
Because of Nolan's treatment. Tama.
Pero para sa akin parang swerte. Well, I'm not complaining. We got Morgan Freeman, 'di ba? Pero
Galing.
for me parang di siya parang
Underused.
hindi siya worthy for kasi Morgan Freeman fan ako
sa
mga movies niya.
Yeah.
Lucius
I
Fox
agree.
is not a worthy name for Morgan Freeman.
Oo
Pero
parang he could
natuwa ako
have
sa
been Alfred eh. Kapag Morgan Freeman could have been Alfred, 'di ba?
Pero he was a good addition as Lucius Fox na parang
Yes.
Nolan gave a sense of realism na who supplies the weaponry, the gadgets behind the scenes. And he plays coy. So spelunking, mga ganun.
Oo, 'di ba?
Yeah, ang galing. So it was
Lots of realism.
Nolan always stuck to that eh. My military relation.
I mean the Tumblr itself.
The Tumblr bridge. It's a bridge vehicle, a bridge creating vehicle. Tapos yung body armor, yung memory cloth. So
the bike. The bike, diba?
the bat pod.
The bike.
Stupid about that bike.
Although ang hindi ko nagustuhan ang design yung the bat, yung
The bat.
The helicopter.
Ang pangit eh.
Helicopter? Jet? Well,
Parang
basta
doesn't
flying
qualify.
machine. No.
Parang
Flying
VTOL.
car. No.
It's like a helicopter na VTOL, vertical takeoff landing.
Yeah.
It's basically a flying car, 'di ba? It's a flying car.
Pretty much.
Kasi wala naman siyang wing eh, hindi naman siya airplane eh. So
But yeah.
And then it doesn't have like big rotors.
Oo, 'di ba? So
ayoko kung ginagawa
pangit
nila sa motor. Yung motor, yung umiikot, 'di ba, yung pag sumaside
yeah,
hindi nasisira yung mga barrel nito.
Now that you mentioned it.
Kailangan ng slow motion.
Oh my God, JM, now that you mentioned it, how does that gun not break? You can only drop a gun so many times before.
Memory cloth.
Well, it remembers what you do with it.
But anyway, going back to Anne Hathaway versus si
Miranda
pangalan nito,
Tate?
si Marion Cotillard.
I
think
Cotillard.
I think for me
Cotillard?
may dalawa silang it's a
French.
They can't be compared for me. Kasi one is a shock treatment and one was basically building up the character. So when it comes to impact to the entire story, syempre doon tayo kay Talia. because that was really unexpected. Kung tutuusin. Though, hindi to yung Talia al Ghul na kilala ko eh. I mean,
I was
and
about to
Jess,
say
Ah.
that as well.
this is not the Talia al
I
Ghul that we
agree.
all know.
Nolan took some liberties
Mm.
to create a Talia al Ghul in his own in his own image, or a version of his Talia al Ghul. Kasi yung Talia sa comics is very sultry. She's a femme fatale as well, calculating, smart. Na yun, nakuha pa rin sa movie. Manipulative. Pero the fact that she dresses up really corporate na parang to a point na parang drab, you never really thought na she would be Talia. Unlike sa books, yung Talia na comic books.
Iba si Talia sa
She's
books.
even
Books
yeah,
Talia.
even sa corporate si Talia, she would have a plunging neckline with the sheer blouse,
Sexy.
parang ganun.
You would say na si Anne Hathaway could have been Talia al Ghul.
Pwede.
Yeah. Pwede.
Actually,
Actually,
she could have been Talia al Ghul, as in realistic when it comes to one by one.
Actually, yes.
Adaptation.
And another twist kasi, si Talia dito is really hell-bent in killing Batman. Sa books, she's actually she's the mother of
Rejected
the mother.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Damian
mother
Wayne,
of Damian
oh.
Wayne. And pretty much,
Kumbaga,
she's like
beloved.
the destined. She's supposed to be the arranged wife of Batman.
Yes.
By Ras.
Boto
Yung-
sa kanya si Erpat eh.
Si
di ba?
Rush.
Boto eh. Di ba? Parang, yan yung nirereto eh. Yan yung reto.
Son of
Si
the-
Batman yung nirereto kay Talia eh.
Sa Son of the Demon yung libro na yun, art by John Byrne ba yun? Son of the Demon. Pero ibang ibang anak dun eh. Pero parang doon na nila nakuha yung idea for Damian Wayne. Ayun.
The
Pero
only
yung sa Son of the
Robin related to Batman.
Yeah.
Robin related to
Si
Batman.
Damian. But
Medyo
he's one of the
awkward.
best. Yeah, but he's one of the best.
Right.
He's
So
My only reference for him is the animated universe, the movies.
he's interpreted from the books. Ganun yung character niya talaga.
Yeah.
He's impetuous, cocky,
Yeah, I
pero
know.
brilliant.
True.
So
And then the recent comics I've read from DC. Ever read DC's Deceased
Yes, I have.
DC's?
yes,
Yeah,
And DC's
zombie-
Dead Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
DC
Zombie
Zombie.
apocalypse version.
I mean,
He became
Damian-
Batman.
but
Mm.
unlike the old Batman, he's a well-adjusted adult.
Oo, may
well,
time skip.
as you would
Parang
expect.
minadali.
Well, so
Pero yes,
after
Talia,
di ba yung after nun, medyo forward pa natin si Talia ng konti. Pero now we get to meet the other two characters dito, which is si Detective Gordon and also John Blake. And medyo
find out is Robin.
Medyo underwhelming sa akin si ano dito. Si Commissioner Gordon dito sa movie na to.
A little bit. Unlike dun
Diba?
sa kabila, dun sa
The Dark
previous.
Knight.
Sa Dark Knight, he is very
Yeah,
utilized.
his role became more
Well,
background.
Yeah. Well, kasi hindi naman I think he served the stories what's
Purpose.
required sa story na hindi siya masyadong kasi the story is very complicated enough. Ang naging participation ni Gordon dito is siya yung naghikayat kay Batman na bumalik na parang you need to come back.
Tama.
Parang
I would have the
That's,
only thing that I would have written in Sir Jerald is I would have wanted to see how they actually made the Dent Act.
Oo nga Actually, yung vague ng Dent Act ano yung details
Vague.
nun? How did it provide?
May warrant pa ba?
The
Ganun.
guidelines,
Oh,
the
So how did it stop the organized crimes in
Parang is it
Gotham?
parang ano na ba? Martial law na ba?
Nalaman ko na lang kasi yung Dent Act parang demonize ni Bane by making the incarcerated
voice?
ones feel like victims.
Yeah.
Siguro
Hindi-
baka yung
pinakita
Dent
yung
Act is siguro if I'm gonna speculate, Dent Act would be parang
Walang warrant.
No parole.
Warrantless.
Parang
more police force. 'Di ba? Harsher
Or-
police force and
Or warrantless.
pwedeng ganun.
Warrantless.
Or no parole,
Basta,
parang
basta harsher law enforcement. Ganon. Kaya may mga nag-revolt
Or no
And
due process, yung mga ganun.
hindi naman
Diba?
siguro. Kaya maangas yung mga yung mga ibang pulis. 'Di ba? Mayroong mga yun nga, mga pulis na 'di ba yung sa simula yung parang pumigil kay Blake na sumunod dun sa sewers, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Nalimutan ko yung pangalan nun eh. So hindi siya may mga ganong figures tapos ngayon it will create dissent eh. Kaya may mga batang pumunta sa ilalim ng sa sewers para maghanap ng ibang leadership. Basically, parang nagrebelde sila. Pero other than that, hindi rin talaga masyadong maybe they mentioned it here. Hindi ko pa lang ulit nababalikan kung nalimutan ko.
Wala. Actually, wala silang masyadong mention regarding it. And I would have, kung ako si Nolan, I would have made
Fleshed
comics. Yeah, I would have made a comics din. Diba, mahilig naman sila back at that time na gumawa ng
tie-in comics or double
supplemental
comics regarding the Dent
comics,
Act na si yung bida, si Jim Gordon
or
yung bida.
fill in what happened during the 8 years of no Batman.
Yun nga yun. Yeah. Within that 8 years, ano nangyari?
Yeah.
We really didn't know ano nangyari.
Actually, he could have added 2 scenes to parang ano ba yung Death Act, parang the Death Act probably, 'di ba, parang stronger policing, diba ganyan, tapos
I think parang
corruption,
black box na lang tong Dent Act eh. Yun na lang. Hindi no one knows what it is pero it gave peace sa
it was very vague.
Yun, 'di ba?
So, mukhang black box na lang siya na parang
ang isang question is what is the kind of peace na nagkaroon? Is it peace because of parang stricter law enforcement?
Nandito siya.
Diba?
Nandito siya. One of the main
Okay.
features of the act is the creation of stricter penalties, including the denial of parole for those who commit any crime deemed as part of a function of
Organized.
a larger criminal enterprise.
Kasi before parang revolving door lang yung Arkham Asylum eh.
This will close the loophole that existed in the previous laws that hampered the city's ability
parang revolving door lang eh.
Organized crime. So talagang target niya are the bigger names talaga, yung mga malalaki.
Okay. So parang it's prison reform basically.
Somehow.
Merong
parang to spook the criminals.
Can you guys mute your speakers?
Meron ba?
Yan, nawala. Ay, meron pang content. Pero sige, okay lang. Hindi naman
Ano
ganun kalakas.
nangiginig nyo? Sorry, wala akong nangiginig masyado dito.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
No, I think
Yan.
Okay. Wala.
Kasi dahil kay Pat yun, dahil feeling ko nakatelepono siya. Kaya
okay.
Yeah, I'm using I'm on mobile.
That's okay. Okay. All right. It's not that loud naman.
So, ayun nga, back to there, medyo humaba na ngayon. Kasi for me, yun ang pinaka-interesting na nangyari yung buong 8 years na yun. Eh, nasan si Bruce nung 8 years na yun? Posible naman nagtatago lang siya.
He had bad knees.
What was he do? I mean, was he with the Russian ballet again?
Oh, no. Siguro yun na nga rin. And also, si John Blake as a character, it's parang ang self-insert na rin to ng tao the regular person na gustong gumawa ng tama. Diba?
True.
Yes.
It's like uncorrupted person na nakikita na niya firsthand what would happen if I get involved in something this big. And ina-idolize din niya si Batman not directly.
Yung detective styling is more parang more reminiscent of Tim Drake.
Yes. And sabi nila parang amalgamation siya ng tatlong Robins during that time. Yun yung
Except si
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Kasi walang acrobatics naman eh. Si Tim Drake was detective.
Yes.
Out of the Robins, mas detective si Tim Drake talaga. And he kind of parang he was suspicious of Bruce Wayne of being Batman. Parang na-analyze niya na.
Dapat
He
si
was the Dark
Tim
Knight.
Drake, di ba? Sorry, Pat, medyo mamute lang kita dahil naririnig eh. Tawag dito,
Tim Drake
dapat
actually
yeah,
deduced na Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah,
Batman.
yes. Yeah.
Oo.
It's the same with kay John Blake, di ba? Pares.
Yep,
Mm.
yep, similar.
Yeah, it's
Pat,
raining
can
here.
use kung meron kang earphones
I'm using
siguro.
earphones, actually.
Kasi rinig
Actually, I'm
ka,
using
yeah.
earphones right now.
Ah,
Not
really?
sure what's
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
So, may
Not sure
ano siya,
what's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
may
at,
feedback.
my
Anyway,
earphones.
Better na ngayon. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mm,
No, it's
anyway,
Oh, I just put
So-
it closer to my face.
for
So,
me,
yeah,
kulang
well-
din. Pero again, what can we do? Marami masyadong stars dito sa movie na to.
Exactly.
And
Which
I
was properly carried out naman.
yun
Okay
di ba? It's very rare na makakita ka ng sobrang dami. I think Christopher Nolan is one of those directors na kaya magdala ng movie na sobrang daming stars. And kahit
And-
paano,
And you have to consider the books being convoluted. If
Mm.
you read
Yep.
the books, I realized that the story was probably pieced from Nightfall, the breaking of his back, No Man's Land, which was closing Gotham from the rest of the world. Ayun,
even
yung
Dark Knight
The
Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark
diba?
Knight Returns, yes.
Mm.
No Man's Land is ayun, yung pag close off
Yeah.
ng Gotham City from the rest of the world.
How about yung
Tapos
bomb?
Yung bomb, I think hindi naman hindi.
Wala akong
That,
naalala.
that,
Wala
that
akong
yeah,
naalala.
that's something new.
That's a Nolan
Nolan's
original.
approach. A Nolan original.
Or probably kay Goyer din.
Pero
Diba?
yung No
Parang-
Man's Land, nagkaroon ng sariling government. Pero this time, it's under Bane. It's books. May kanya-kanyang faction eh. May Jokers, may Penguin. But dito, it's under Bane.
Yeah.
And yung Bane naman dito is talagang akala mo siya yung mastermind. Not knowing ngayon pala si Talia al Ghul is pulling the strings. So,
Yeah.
galing. It's
So-
pretty good.
We're
Gusto ko
talking
din yung-
about
Gusto ko rin yung call out dun sa isang animated episode wherein si Joker yung judge. Pero dito si Jonathan
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow yung
Scarecrow.
judge. So, yun yun.
Um,
I don't know.
Death or Exile.
Yeah.
Death
Exile,
by Exile.
Death by exile.
Yeah, that's.
Same thing.
I mean,
Di ba na,
which one will you pick?
nakuha
Death
pa
or
rin ni Nolan na bigyan pa rin ng role si Cillian Murphy dito sa movie
All
na to,
episode.
despite-
All
I mean, Cillian Murphy is his favorite.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good actor din.
I mean,
Yeah, he could have been Batman, di ba dati? He could have been Batman. And yung bosses
But-
niya, mas malapit pa dun sa animated series sa Batman kung tutusin.
well, he's just a bit short.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maliit
But
lang
then
tayo.
again, that never stopped Tom Hardy from being from somehow appearing bigger than Christian
yeah.
Bale, despite being a full 4 inches shorter. So yeah, that's
And si Tom
Something.
Hardy, most of his films during that time period, laging nakatakip yung mukha niya. If you remember, I'll try to check the list. Laging
Is
nakatakip
it
yung mukha
is it because finifilm din nila yung ano? Or if film nila yung Bronson?
Fury
no
Road.
Bronson.
Oo.
Bronson came before.
Kasi
Bronson's like
ganun na ganun yung
2008.
katawan niya eh. Ganun-
Naalala ko si Tom Hardy yung sa Star Trek Nemesis.
Sa
Yung
Mad
bata niya pa dun.
Max. Sa Mad
Bata
Max.
Bata niya pa doon. He was the clone of Picard.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't.
Siya yun. Si Tom Hardy yun. Kalbo. A younger Picard clone.
And when it comes to here, how plausible na para makikita mo mag-team up si Bane and also John Daggett? How much money yung shinell out ni Daggett para makuha si Bane and also
Si Daggett
Everything else.
kasi was a means to an end to Talia and Bane. Yung John
Yeah.
Daggett na to, compared sa Roland Daggett sa animated series, pharma si Roland. Si John Daggett is a contractor in which Bane used his resources to yung to prepare the tunneling system, plant explosives and all. So he was a
and
means
he's
to an
also
end.
part of Wayne Corp, diba? Which is very
Yes,
convenient.
Daggett. Wanted to buy him out
Oh,
using the
very
fingerprints. Ang galing eh. So,
That's well, Daggett only got with Bane because Bane wanted to, not because
No.
Daggett could afford Bane.
Yeah, and Daggett thought he could threaten Bane, thus the iconic line, and this means you have power over me.
Mm.
So, ayun.
Masyadong
And
si Bane dito, no? He's very tactical na
mm,
you wouldn't really, at least for the
some,
casual fan, they wouldn't remember Bane being like this except for us na alam natin.
he is
I mean,
very tactical.
comics. Only in comics. Only people who've read the comics.
Like there was one series of Bane, which parang pinoison
I
yung
forgot
dugo
if
ni Joker tsaka ni
oh,
Batman, in which na ayun pala yung they didn't know who poisoned them, pero it was Bane behind the scenes
Bane.
pala. Yung
I'm not
antidote
sure
was
if in
easy
the
to make.
what's it? The animated series. There's quite a
He
few
had a
of
Mexican.
Batman.
He had a Mexican accent dun sa animated series.
Ikaw, Sir Gerald,
Parang
anong
lucha kasi
ano
si
sa'yo?
wrestler
Luchador.
si
Anong
luchador si
impression mo,
ano.
Sir
Oh,
Gerald?
si
Bane.
Bane.
Oh.
Dito. Is there anything in particular na na-enjoy mo kay Tom Hardy's Bane? Personality niya? How they delivered Bane as a character?
Actually, medyo distracted ako dun sa voice niya. Oo. Medyo distracted ako sa voice. Parang he could have used a different accent. Pero, kasi hindi siya naging kasing iconic nung ano eh. I suppose it
Joker.
did, yung kay Joker, bro. Diba? Although,
It's different, diba? Oo. Trinay din nila eh. Feel ko tinatry nila i-capture yung magic ni Joker kay Bane.
Oo,
Yep.
diba? So, may ganun siyang ano, hindi ko alam eh, kung anong, pero
Kung ikaw si
Plus,
Nolan,
Tom Hardy's
kung ikaw si
voice.
Nolan,
siguro ang disappointment ko kay Bane is na ano siya eh, na-emasculate siya in the ending eh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
I wanted to,
he turned
I wanted
into
him,
he's a
I want-
simp for Talia.
I wanted him to to die strong. If he's gonna die strong. Okay na siya eh. Yun nga lang,
Sinagasaan lang siya.
Hindi,
bigla siya.
binaril siya nung
Batpod.
nung
Batpod.
canon. No?
Batpod.
He got killed by a Batpod.
Yeah,
Binaril
and
siya
also yun nga yung pagiging masyado siyang, he used to be so alpha tapos bigla siyang hindi pala.
Beta.
Tapos
After Talia reveal, parang
hindi
wala
siya
na
ano
siya.
eh, hindi nawala yung
yung strongman presence niya, no?
Oo,
I know. At the start, he looked so imposing.
they could have used the storytelling elements na ano eh, na parang he can still maintain the strong personality na ano eh, na, and still be alam mo yun, in love hopelessly with Talia. Ang nangyari kasi parang ano eh, yun ang hindi ko gusto dun sa character ni
He was so hurt. Baka he was so hurt na nung time na yun dahil yung parang yung mask niya
Yung ginawa ng excuse na Sir Jay ang
Hindi, nung time na yun, yung mask niya, hindi ba he's so in pain kung wala
dependent on the mask.
Yung gas. May gas dun sa mask eh.
Anesthetic.
Venom yun, hindi naman refer as Venom yung
Oo nga, yun na.
Which makes me wonder how he eats, 'di ba? Pag tinatanggal niya yun, paano siya kakain, 'di ba? Pero sa nasal eh, 'di ba? Parang dito. Nakastraw lang sa ilong siguro pag gumalis.
And another
tapos Cerelac lang kinakain niya. Hanggang Cerelac lang pwede kainin.
Yung muscles niya galing sa Cerelac.
Oo, 'di ba?
Sir Jerald yung bibigyan ng creative control kay Bane. Ano yung mga babaguhin mo? Ano ilalagay mo?
Kay Bane?
Yeah.
Yung ending nga kasi naging astig na siya when he broke
the back,
yung Batman's back and threw him, hindi niya pinatay eh. He threw him to the to the same
fate worse than death.
pit. The same pit where he came from. So from there pinakita nung character that he is in command, that he knows his shit, that he has
fear.
He is also confident to leave his worst enemy alive. 'Di ba? Yun yung papakita nun eh, na parang okay, kahit hindi
I don't need to kill you to stop you.
I am very confident na whatever you do, kahit bumalik ka pa, I'm not expecting you to kasi I don't think you have the fortitude to overcome the pit, 'di ba? Pero if you can, I'm still here, okay lang. Gagawin ko ulit sa 'yan. 'Yun yung yun yung message
Bane.
nung scene na yun eh. Kaya he left him alive. Tapos yun nga, I just don't think somebody like that would be so simple
Heartbroken,
to
diba?
diba? Parang he would have a lot more
Fighting
mental
spirit.
strength. Mental strength. And kung ganun siya katindi, for sure Talia would fall head over heels with him already. Eh ngayon parang
Have my babies.
Kumbaga pa, 'di ba parang kung ganun ka dominante, so medyo hindi nag-swak. And hindi you wouldn't strike as much fear to your yung mga minions mo eh. Diba? Ay, ano naman 'yan eh, 'di ba? Isipin mo ba kung meron kang siga sa inyo tapos under pala siya, 'di ba? Parang ganun. Sa under pala siya. Under ka naman eh, 'di ba? Hindi ako maniniwala sa iyo. Imagine mo si imagine mo si Digong, 'di ba?
Oh.
Si Digong.
Anyway,
wala si Digong.
nabaril siya ng kanyon eh. Yung kanyon na kayang gibain yung wall dun sa... Kaya medyo I doubt na magsusurvive siya doon. Medyo yung kanyon na yun din yung ginamit na pang tanggal ng ng wall.
They could have used that to kill him, but they could have at least made it like a team effort to stop Bane. Like make it an epic fight where the only way to kill Bane was for someone to get into the Batpod and shoot him with a cannon.
Yeah.
Alam mo,
but ang isang thing doon is you need Batman to do it himself eh, to defeat him kasi natalo siya eh. Kailangan makita mo na makaganti si Batman. Kung gano'n, parang mababawasan naman yung angas ni Batman. Diba?
It's either
true.
It's either Batman does it or si John Blake for me. It's either of the two.
Oh.
I think
Pero kailangan
Batman
dapat may significant na contribution si Batman sa defeat ni Bane.
The only thing
team up sila ni Catwoman.
Yeah.
And then
I think ang thing na nag-stop doon is yung 11-minute timer. Kasi kung papanorin mo yung movie, ang galing nung yung 11 minutes na yun, saktong-sakto from when Talia said na 11 minutes left and sumabog yung bomb. Exactly 11 minutes yung haba nung scene na yun. And I would understand
one by one scene.
Yeah, so I would understand kung talagang in the interest of time, yun yung ginamit nilang way para mapatay si Bane. Para maano yung 11 minutes ma-retain. But hanga ako doon nung na-realize ko na na 11 minutes talaga yung difference from that moment to the time na sumabog yung bomb.
I think it's yung approach kay Bane kasi when it came to the sewer scene, he was really intimidating.
Is it the first time?
The first time, hindi yung sa sewer scene na where he breaks the bat. Talagang mini-mentally psych out niya na si Bruce Wayne.
Darkness is your ally.
Darkness, kumbaga, parang pinapatronize nila lang na, akala mo. Di ba, I was born in darkness.
Tapos sabay
You're
babae
merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
Galing eh. Yung talagang nakikita mo yung presence niya is he's more than formidable to break the bat.
Yes.
Not even there.
Smashing his face.
The most.
I mean, he smashed the mask.
God, the mask made in China.
It's supposed to be bulletproof.
Hindi yung nababasa nga yung bato dun sa pillar nung
di ba yung sa huli?
I think the most profound scene there is the football scene.
Yeah, with the
takeover, di ba? That's a very power thing to do.
Oh God, blowing up the entire football field.
Not only that, the way kung paano nila united na this is what I want to do. and you guys are left but no option just to
No
follow
man's
me.
land.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yep.
in second nun is when binabasa na nga niya yung yung
Yung
letter.
kay ni Gordon.
After that, yeah.
Parang
That-
feeling of
Blackgate.
he instilled fear and hopelessness talaga.
I would have done that in a bit much bigger stage kung tutusin, yung pagbasa niya.
And I think another thing kasi for ito lang yung gripe ko din with the Nolan Batman is yung fighting scenes. Kaya when I saw yung Batfleck, yung sa warehouse scene, that is
that's
the
one by one.
Batman.
Maganda yun.
That's the
that's
that's
an
the comic.
Arkham. Actually,
Exactly.
video
Diba?
game fight scene yung
Fight
doon.
scene.
Oo,
Kahit may
Arkham.
gauntlet sa yung titirahin siya sa ulo na gumaganon siya,
Oo,
sasaksakin dito tapos yung crates
Oh
parang
yeah,
Galing.
he's
Oh,
the
yeah,
bruiser type eh.
Batfleck.
But the
Yeah,
That's
problem
the
actually
comic
really-
version of
Yeah.
that's the comic that's a comic brutal the brutal side of Batman.
Mm.
Kasi in the comic books, even the criminals would remember him as he hits really hard. Doon pa lang parang
Yes.
suntok lang, or when he throws a thug at the wall, nababasag yung yung plaster.
Or
Dito
the,
parang
or the
he's
time he just tackled the guy through a wall
yes.
or threw
Dito.
a crate at the bad guy. I mean, seriously.
Mm.
Dito Nolan sticks to realism, I guess, when it comes
Which
to
is
the
good.
fighting scenarios. Yeah, it's
Kasi-
good din.
Pabor ako. I mean, it's all in flair when it comes to Justice League and also yung Batman scene in the warehouse. People will say na, yeah, this is like what you said, Jess. There's nothing to refute and also dispute that will be the most ideal when it comes to comics. Pero you also did mention that the Nolan verse or the Nolan trilogy is really about hyperrealism. And I like yung not really like, pero I appreciate how he did it. Pero mas gusto ko yung mga fight scenes niya sa The Batman Begins. Because
I would agree.
Diba?
Lalo na with Ra's al Ghul sa ice. Doon mo
Yes.
nakikita.
Oh yeah,
Not
that
to mention
scene.
yung diba? Yung tinatakot niya yung mga sila Falcone. Yung part na yon na kung saan na siya lumalabas.
Oh, yeah,
Yun.
yeah.
That's the
Fear.
Batman that I
Yeah.
want to see.
Mm.
Pero
Oh, yeah,
dito kasi Batman's already fighting
Batman has this thing of disappearing and reappearing. It's flair.
Batman is now fighting in daylight, which is a bit off.
That was
yeah.
weird. That was weird. Pero
Batman in
well,
daylight.
it is what
Well,
it
it
is.
is. It
happens
It
naman.
is a story.
Mm.
Kasi eventually it's going to happen, especially if Gotham has already been taken over.
Yeah.
Though it's very funny na kung nalaro niyo yung Arkham, yung Arkham
Yeah, I do.
games
Nalaro ko.
it never becomes daylight. 'Di ba? Hindi nagiging araw sa Arkham.
Kahit na gano'ng
Pero
katagal.
dito-
Yun yung suspension of disbelief sa mga
Pero
open
dito
world.
kasi I love the way they interpreted kasi this is how a person would fight kapag ganito yung armor niya. Yun yung totoo.
And yung
Yun
build
yung
niya
mga-
kasi parang tama lang eh. Unlike the
Oo.
tank version ni Batfleck.
Yung
Actually,
Bat-
even sa Batman Hush comics, Jim Lee draws
Mm-hmm.
him na parang tank din yung style eh. So yeah, I think it depends
Mm-hmm.
on how the writers would interpret the
How
Batman.
about isingit ko lang, how about yung Batman, The Dark Knight Returns sa Batman? Talagang hard hitter ba siya doon?
He's supposed actually he's
you know what?
all
Mas
Batman.
Mas malapit yung BVS, yung Batman v Superman sa The Dark
Doon
Knight
sa
Returns than this one.
No, I mean
Kasi
yung lang.
yun talagang inadapt from the Dark Knight
the books.
Returns.
Yun talaga
Batman
kinuha nila.
v Superman. But this
Kahit
one,
sa-
I don't see
What I
the-
meant is was he supposed
He
to
hits
be a
hard.
hard hitter? Yeah.
Okay,
Kasi
okay.
naaalala ko kasi dun sa sa singit ko na lang, sorry. Yung sa Dark Knight Returns, tama ba? Oh, The Dark Knight Returns is nung sinuot na lang niya yung suit, saka siya naging sobrang lakas. Because he has to face Superman with that shit.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. That's yeah. Depends nga rin sa writers.
Tanda na rin kasi
And
siya dun.
Si Nolan kasi, I think he applied a sense of realism. You have to remember na in this movie, parang pinapalabas nila na anyone can be a Batman. He's just a symbol.
Yeah.
Ayun yung ano ni Nolan, yung premise. Pero sa books or even the animated series, like kung sa Justice League ba yun, no, yung Batman animated series in which Amanda Waller decided to reveal to Terry McGinnis na anak pala talaga siya ni
Yes.
Bruce Wayne kasi there will
Ganda
never be
yung
a
ano, yung
Batman.
episode na yun.
Yes. The world will always need a Batman and that's why I had to keep this secret from you. Pero with Nolan, anyone can be a Batman, which is okay naman kasi we've seen Azrael,
Yes.
Yeah. Even sa comics yata, parang,
di ba
parang
wait.
ganun din.
si Dick
I'm just gonna
Grayson.
switch my laptop.
So, I think it's with Nolan's approach on how he sees Batman as, ayun nga,
Is the symbol.
unlike yung as a symbol. Anyone can be Batman. Pero sa ibang writers, the world will always need a Batman in which Batman is unique as, ayun, Bruce Wayne is unique as Batman.
Ayun.
Okay, I mean,
Ikaw, Sir Jerald, medyo ano ka ngayon pero what do you think about Batman here? Well, nandito naman tayo.
Dito sa Batman na to, well, he's ang story arc niya kasi dito sa Batman Rises is parang hindi ko alam kung he's given up. He's given up in the beginning. That's why pinabayaan niya unang-una pinabayaan niya na ma-disparage yung pangalan niya na maging villain siya. Hindi niya nilabanan yung stigma na yon, 'di ba? So that's one. So there's a sense of parang surrender ng slightly. Pero syempre parang but still meron siyang may hints na hindi pa rin siya maka-move on. Kaya gusto ko yung mga i-dissect niya yung mga dialogues niya with Alfred in the beginning. Kasi ang ganda ng mga dialogues ni Alfred doon na parang tingin ko hinihintay mo lang magkagulo ulit. Yun yung sinasabi niya, parang
you don't owe anyone.
Oo, 'di ba? Gusto parang it's almost
you
like
your life.
Parang wala kang ibang alam kundi maging Batman. Kasi kala niya, he was hoping after leaving
nung nagkaroon ng peace.
No, nagka-peace. At least he goes back to being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But he can't. Hindi niya kaya. So that's why parang sabi niya if you were sabi niya if you're feeling niya parang secretly ba pinagdadasal mo na magkagulo ulit kasi ikaw yung si Batman, 'di ba? Parang ganoon yung implication. And so yun ang mindset ni ni Bruce Wayne, ni Batman nung dito sa simula ng movie. So he's a little bit half-hearted when he fought Bane for the first time. 'Di ba? Kasi kaya siya natalo kasi hindi niya alam kung bakit ba siya nandun. 'Di ba?
Tsaka parang
have a purpose.
It's been a long time na hindi siya nakapag crime fighting kaya talagang
medyo kinakalawang si
kinalaw. Di ba he has to wear something for the knee?
His body is broken. His body is broken. Wala siyang cartridge, meron siyang mga scars sa kidney, sa utak, 'di ba? Mga ganun.
And he had a knee brace. Diba?
he wore a knee brace.
Physically compromised na si Batman, and also yung mentality niya is hindi siya 100% na nandun yung commitment niya. I would have to hindi pa ako maabot ulit kung paano niya nakuha yung yung fortitude. I suppose ipapakita yon dun sa sa pit kung paano niya naabot yung yung 'di ba yung final jump. So
so the lesson there is kailangan maibalik yung fear sa kanya.
Yun ba yung
the fear of dying.
The fear of dying.
Fear of dying.
So,
yun ba yung yung trigger doon sa parang.
Kasi at that point,
ni Bane na you're not afraid to die.
Wala siya, hindi siya afraid to die Kaya yun yung nagde-drive sa kanya at that point. So nung tatalo na siya dun sa pit, kailangan daw maibalik yung fear of dying niya and tinanggal yung support, yung rope. Kasi may
harness.
Yung harness, And that's the reason kung bakit nakayanan niya yung jump dahil wala siyang support. So there's a possibility that he'll die, and out of that fear of dying, kaya siya nag-succeed.
He'll strive more
sa pagtalon.
Yes.
So yun yung yun yung
True.
reason kung bakit bumalik
So
yung
how did
42
that help him to defeat Bane?
I think yung spirit niya, he got it back. Plus, Bane was in disbelief na he got out of the pit. So parang it affected them both in a way. So
Okay.
ayun,
Yeah, well,
he-
2-4 or
parang
something like
kaya
that.
the Dark Knight Rises. Actually, yung Dark Knight Rises and yung The Dark Knight Returns, hindi ko siya talaga ma-relate kasi yung Dark
Yeah,
Knight Returns na older Batman is different sa character dito.
Iba.
When he
I
revealed.
don't
No,
think
I think
so na.
you could
He's
only
not
relate
as old.
both. No,
Then may
you
arm
could
lang
only
sa
relate
dulo.
kasi dito mo siya mag-relate is
Mm.
with the scene na bumalik si Batman and then yung dalawang police.
Yes.
You guys remember that? Kaya ko na-mention na, oh yeah, this is straight out of the Dark Knight Returns talaga. Yung kid, you're in for a show tonight. Yun, sabi ko, naalala ko kasi ako nakakita to before. So, basically, yung return kasi ni Batman to ni Bruce Wayne as Batman was a big momentous
being
occasion
dormant.
for everyone, di ba?
The
Oh,
cops.
Pero
yes.
not everyone was happy about it.
Hmm.
Not everyone's happy about it. But sorry, yung pinag-uusapan kayo. Sorry to derail it.
No.
Parang,
Okay na.
ako kasi para mapilit kanina na may connection. Wala talagang connection yung dalawa.
No.
It's just one segment na talagang you know that this is from
There's
the
a
Dark Knight
callback dun
Returns.
sa ano. Yeah.
Sorry, what were you guys talking about? May inasikaso lang ako.
On
Ano ba
the
tayo?
question was on what drove Bruce Wayne to defeat
No.
to have been able to defeat Bane. So I also explained that Bane was also in disbelief of having survived his ordeal within the pit for several months.
It's Talia Algo's post.
Oh.
Well, going back to Talia,
That's
ano siya, to Bane, ano nga, yun ang
I can't
hindi ako
believe that.
convinced na a strong
Na siya yung
man
under.
like Bane,
Bane.
like what he showed dun sa first 3/4 of the film, unless kumbaga, unless he should have they should have portrayed
Had a
them
showdown.
as probably at least former lovers sila. Hindi yung parang
Pwede.
forever na hindi
Kasi
siya
connection, there's no
forever
connection,
busted si
diba?
ano.
Pero na friend zone siya na eh.
Wait.
Bane-
Ang portrayal kasi sa pagka intindi ko is si Talia at si Bane hindi niya nagustuhan ever. Kumbaga parang wala siyang pag-asa kay Bane at saka hindi siya nagustuhan nung tatay niya. Parang ganoon. Tapos hindi siya which is parang
Although, ang dating sa
malabo.
akin, the reason
Lalo
na umalis sa League of Shadows si Talia
Was
and
it because
Bane
of that?
is
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
Bane. Because
That's
of
one.
Bane. Ayaw nung tatay niya kay Bane.
Tatay.
And the reason na
ni Ras sa kanya.
nag-aklas si Talia and Bane from the League of Shadows is because of Bane din. So I doubt na...
So gusto din ni Talia si Bane.
Yeah.
As a
okay.
friend. As a
Okay.
friend. Yun
As a
lang.
friend.
Oh,
Oh,
as a
sa
friend.
zone.
As a friend lang, so hindi talaga, so
Oo.
busted
Friend
talaga
zone.
siya.
Friend zone.
Being the bodyguard nung
Oo.
time na nasa pit din si Talia.
Kasi
Diba?
namatay yung
Malay
nanay
mo,
ni ano eh.
baka mabantot talaga si Bane, mukhang mabantot. Kaya hindi siya
Namatay kasi
magagawa,
yung
di ba?
parang
Oo.
nani si Bane eh. Namatay
Oo.
yung nanay. So naging protector si Bane nung lumalaki si Talia sa pit.
Yes,
Brother
yes.
zone.
Pero kung magkasama sila, edi mabantot din si Talia, di ba?
Well,
Most likely.
Wala mas feeling ko
Sa pit,
mabantot
medyo.
sila lahat doon eh, di ba?
Oo,
Sila nasa
walang shower dun sa pit eh.
Oo,
Unless
diba?
umulan eh.
Oo.
Oo nga. Pag walang ulan, walang shower.
Well,
Oo.
kaya may explanation pala. Kasi si Bane ang nag-alaga kay Talia.
Yes.
Di ba? So merong
Protector,
so parang pwede na.
That's the
Kasi
reason kung bakit.
the
So,
story
may
was the Ra's al
Oh.
Ghul was a mercenary who fell in love with the daughter of a warlord.
Mm.
Nalaman ng warlord na buntis yung anak niya in which na ayun, kinulong yung anak niya na babae dun sa pit.
So dapat
In which-
actually dapat si Ra's al Ghul ang
Yes,
ikukulong
yung
sa pit.
mercenary.
But he was freed and hindi alam ni Ra's al Ghul na in exchange
Yes.
yung asawa niya ang
Asawa niya.
ikinulong sa pit.
Yes. Tsaka hindi pa nga sinabi doon na yung mercenary na yun si Ra's al Ghul. So
Yeah, that's the big reveal.
galing mercenary lang yung pangalan na. So And
So
living
ang dating nito, pedophiles yan, no? Used to be pedophile si Bane nung bata.
Lumalabas
Kasi
na
bata pa
gano'n.
siya, di ba?
parang
Oo,
ganun.
di ba?
Pero
So,
Lumalabas na.
pedophilia pala si
Oo,
Pilyo
oo,
pala si
lumalabas na.
Okay,
I can't
groomer.
even
And,
understand why
and,
they...
and, and guys, nagulat din ako nung pinanood ko sa sinihan and yung cameo ni Liam Neeson, I
Liam
wasn't
Neeson.
expecting na, nung time na yon na lalabas ulit si Liam Neeson.
Mm.
Because during that time, yung mga ganong klaseng cameo is very far-fetched na mangyari. And big name si Liam Neeson eh. And
I
to
think
have
Taken
him...
already came out during that. Taken, it's already. Which
Yeah,
Taken
yeah.
movie was it already?
Yeah,
By the time
at that point,
Dark Knight.
sobrang big name na ni Liam Neeson that you wouldn't imagine na babalik
Ay, hindi,
siya.
oh.
he has a
Okay lang
special
yun.
set of skills.
Kasi si ano nga si Morgan Freeman nga nandun, di ba?
Ano, but
Hindi
he's
lang
part of the
Well,
billing eh. Part of the billing siya na...
Oh, hello, good evening, Queen Masabi. Medyo late ka na.
Pero-
Sorry, Jerald.
Yeah, pero tama ka Sir Jay, yung
Nagulat ako actually.
Lucius Fox became prominent sa because of Nolan.
Dito sa movie na to.
Became,
Yes, yes.
Kasi even sa animated series, yung Lucius Fox na animated series, he's not as prominent.
It's not.
Actually, sa first season niya, parang inaccuse niya pa si Bruce Wayne of trying to kill him. Yun pala si Clayface.
Yeah. So after that, naging prominent nga si Lucius Fox. And nag-assume siya ng ganong role na tech designer.
And
I don't
parang
remember he
proxy.
was-
Proxy for managing the business.
Yes. Yep.
Kaya,
Ako siguro nasaan ba tayo kay Bane tayo, di ba? I mean,
Bane.
We haven't talked about
This
John
is-
Blake. Lagi gusto ni JM pag-usapan natin si John
no,
Blake.
si Bane.
Someone,
Kasi-
I've avoided him a lot.
When it comes to dito yung nag-fall down yung movie kung tutuusin eh. So we're not going to discuss everything na pero dito nag-fall down yung movie kasi din sinasabi niya. If you compare it within the last quarter of Batman Begins and also The Dark Knight, maganda yung mga nangyayari doon eh. In Batman Begins, it's the start of yung assault ni Batman sa anong pangalan nun? Sa Blackgate ba?
Arkham yun eh, nung time na yun.
Sa Arkham ba yun?
Sa Arkham yun.
Hindi,
sa
yung
Arkham.
dinaglag na nila yung dinaglag na nila
Yung fear
gas.
toxin sa
Yung fear
sewer.
toxin.
Sa water.
So,
I think sa
yun na
Arkham
yung
yun.
almost fourth quarter nun. Pagdating naman dito sa sa The Dark Knight, ito na yung confrontation na
The building
nila ni
Actually,
Joker.
gusto ko yun, yung last part ng The Dark Knight Rises. Ay, sige, I'll let you finish muna.
Hindi, okay lang. Kasi yun yung nakakatawa when it comes to yung fourth quarter nitong na to. Ito yung parang breaking down. Katulad sabi ni Sir Jer, na nag-breakdown yung character ni Bane from something that super respected and also feared. And then now, you discover
No, I think after nung Talia reveal, parang sinabi niya kay Bane, okay, stop playing the boss now, Bane.
You're the cook now.
Back to being the what you were nung Batman and Robin. Parang ano lang. At
Ano
yung parang
nakakaboisit
ganun
pa doon?
Okay,
Umiyak pa si Bane, di ba? Which is,
Yeah.
for me,
Emasculate.
why?
May feelings din naman si
Why?
Bane. Ano ba?
He's a puppy.
May soft side din siya. Yung muscles niya
Siguro-
malalambot yun eh, actually.
Hindi kaya yun yung reason kaya ayaw ni Ras sa kanya dahil umiiyak siya.
With that Bertie.
Pwede.
Bane.
Di ba?
Tito Bane kasi siya.
Alright, baby.
Tito Bane na kasi
Tito Bane.
si
Tito
si
Zone.
Bane.
Oo nga naman.
So, hindi siya parang yak, Tito Bane. Ano ba yan? Stop touching me, Tito Bane. Parang ganun siya. Ganun umabot sila sa ganun.
Pero isipin mo na lang if they continued on with yung powerful the Bane until the end,
Oo.
it would have
Kaya nga.
made a lot more sense.
Hindi ko
They
kaya
should've
hindi ko masyadong gusto yung yung
Writing.
yung ending nung kay Talia kasi ginawa siyang parang undeservedly biglang siya yung
Mastermind.
Supporting
Oo,
and
diba?
then bigla ka naging main villain.
'di ba ganon. Parang hindi well all the while you were made to believe na ang astig is si Bane talaga, 'di ba? And
I
you
think
have
in hindsight, medyo
si Bane kasi already got your respect 'di ba?
Mm.
Yep.
By that
Exactly.
time. Sa parang
Or-
I think in hindsight,
kasi binali mo nga si Batman eh. Kung hindi mo alam yung kung hindi ka nakabasa ng comics, 'di ba? Ano 'yan? Parang what? Natalo niyo si Batman, naging cripple si Batman dahil sa iyo. So, kung first time mong nakita yung ganun, it's something else. So, tataas yung respeto mo kay Bane. Tapos biglang
Actually,
naging demoted severely.
to being a cop.
Yeah.
I think in
Actually,
hindsight
kung-
na lang siya na ano.
Kung
During the time
tinalo siya ni ano. Ayun.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Ano?
Sorry.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
Hindi, ang sasabihin ko lang sana, I think yung mga nitty-gritty na ito, in hindsight na lang natin naisip. Pero nung first time nating
True.
napanood ito, after nung Talia reveal, medyo parang mind blown pa tayo na hindi tayo masyadong na let down muna nung pagkapatay kay Bane unceremoniously. Parang medyo
Kaya good call by Sir
digest
Jerald.
pa natin nung time na yon yung Talia reveal.
Ako kasi I like the Talia reveal na okay sa akin yun, pero yung epekto nun kay Bane, naramdaman ko na yun nung unang ano eh. Parang bakit?
Okay.
Ano na siya eh. Parang kasi you can reveal that without taking away everything that the character of Bane has earned for you.
Or-
Diba? Kasi pwede mong gawin yun eh, na parang naging the story reduced Bane as ano eh, as a parang yun. Hindi naman totally parang ano siya eh, may loser na ano eh. Naging yung significantly mas naging loser siya. From being parang Michael Jordan, naging ano siya, naging Ron Artest.
Naging Brian's
Parang ganon.
Diba?
Naging world peace.
Anyway,
diba?
batiin ko lang si Migo. Si Flick Friends, thanks for being here, Brad. Just in case you wanna go in, sabihan mo na ako. But, sorry, go ahead. Sir, Jerald, may sinasabi ka pa.
Yun yung
Sayang.
tingin ko. Kasi na-demote yung ano niya, yung to me, okay lang naman. Yun nga, pero
Character build up.
it could have been
Wasted
written
average.
better. Kasi parang biglang na para kang parang Scooby-Doo na parang astig to, 'di ba? Parang si Khabib kunyari. So, o kaya si John Jones ka. Sino bang mas kumbaga parang parang
I get what you're saying.
top ka tapos biglang hindi ka pala ganun.
Imagine mo si
pala
Thanos.
It's
Imagine mo
like
si Thanos sa
It's
sa-
like
sa-
Rocky 3, yung kay Clubber Lang, na parang
Clubber Lang.
akala niya siya yung pinakamagaling. And then po siya, hindi pala ikaw, si Clubber pala mas magaling sa'yo. Handpick lang pala lahat ng mga kalaban mo eh. Parang ganun yung kinalabasan eh. So,
nagkaroon ng ganun.
I think for me,
if-
Sige, Jess, bago ako.
Well, if only if they had a showdown sana, no? If they wrote
Wala
it
nga
na Batman got beaten, Bane got beaten by Batman in a satisfying fashion, like probably brutally defeated, and it snapped Talia. Doon na tapos, di ba?
Before that,
that
kasi
would have
may
done
mahabang
better.
showdown na kasi sila eh. Yun yung
Yeah.
leading up to that scene eh. And baka hindi pa brutal enough for some fans yung pambubugbog ni Batman kay Bane na halos tanggal na yung nasa mukha niya eh.
Yeah. Or
There's
Batman
no
could have
redemption
used
fight.
parang kumbaga convincing talaga. It was like
I think yung
kumbaga
leading
sa books, he defeated Bane when he returned. Talagang mano a mano na hindi siya pagod. So dito parang ginawa kasi parang si Talia
actually medyo
took
beaten na
the
si
scene,
Bane nun. Parang tinetretan na nga niya eh. And may mga lines na si Batman doon parang
You have my permission to die.
you have my permission
Actually,
to die.
actually okay lang sa akin yung yung fight scene nila. Wala ako doon. Yung mental fortitude ni Bane, doon siya nabawasan eh. Doon nabawasan siya na parang ang motivation niya pala is he can't get the girl. Parang this is supposed to be somebody who can get anything he wants.
Imagine
either
this.
Diba?
Imagine this. From the first time na nakita natin siya in the first part of the movie, could you even imagine na from there yung airplane scene going to invasion ng ng tawag dito,
No.
Wall Street, and also Gotham, na magagawa ng isang taong under yun. Hindi
Oo
I
nga
can't
di
imagine
ba?
my
Di,
writing.
oo.
Di ba
I can't
yun?
picture someone an under doing
Kaya
that.
nga, I
We don't
would
know.
have...
Baka plan ni Talia ang lahat ng ito all along eh.
Kasi
Di
you
ba?
can't
So we
act
don't know, di ba?
you can't act alpha if you're not alpha eh.
Oo.
Di ba? You
Yun
I
can
yung
would
never
have...
ano.
alpha.
Tsaka I would have written him off being killed at the hands of, yun nga, a better Batman.
Yeah.
Talagang...
So may tanong si dito. Si Migo dito. Was the Talia reveal more forgivable after some time? For me, introspect kasi na in The Dark Knight Rises becomes significantly better through time. Oh yeah, parang one. Yeah.
For me,
Yeah,
ang brilliant
okay.
ng Talia reveal actually for me.
Pero
Because up
Yes.
until
felt
that
out
time,
of place.
no. Up until that time, hindi mo alam na may Talia yung movie. Yung Child of Rage, Al Ghul, everyone
Rachel,
was thinking na si Bane ito. Up until that point. And nasabi ko nga kanina na ang brilliant na nagsinungaling si yung actress during
yun nga, yung sinasabi
interviews.
mo kanina.
Because I was very
Ah.
surprised and di ko alam kung paano lang mapupull off ito na up until that very moment na reveal si Talia. Kaya for me it's satisfying. Maybe it's just me. So
Sa akin yung about Talia, okay lang yun. Wala that's satisfying talaga. Pero yung epekto niya with the
Yeah,
character of
Bane.
Bane, yun yung
malaki.
doon ako, kumbaga it added to Talia but it reduced significantly to Bane's character.
yeah.
You
So,
know
it-
what
it-
could
I think
have
I
been-
agree
Pwede
with that. I agree with that.
You know
diba?
what
So,
could have been
it's
could have
brilliant. Brilliant siya in
What-
Talia's part pero hindi siya nakadagdag kay Bane. Nabawasan.
You know
siya.
what could have made this movie better if they didn't include Talia al Ghul. To be honest with you.
Pwede rin.
Well,
Pwede.
Pwede mo siya isama pero not in this case na tipong, alam mo yon, yung kapag dinugtong mo kasi na, oh yeah, mastermind pala siya ni Bane. Which, again, we all agree that the last part of this movie is where everything fell apart. Diba?
No, I don't. No, I
Pwede
think
lang.
maganda pa rin yung last
Fell
part.
apart. Okay naman. It's
It's not-
siguro
it's not
No, what I
bad.
mean when it fell
Bad.
apart, it fell apart
Oo.
when it comes to the characterization ni Bane and also ni
I think that's
Bruce.
the only thing na
Kasi
hindi okay. I think I get where Jerald is coming from about
yeah, I also
And
get
aside from
kasi
that,
dun din ako nagagaling.
everything's good.
But
Hindi ko alam
kasi-
because from someone na naiyak sa ending ng movie,
No,
touched
ako-
by everything, I wouldn't say na it's a bad ending.
It's not a bad ending. What I meant is it took away a lot of the flair and also
The build-up.
the story build-up na meron yung na to just because of Talia. Yun ang sa akin.
Sure.
I
And-
Only
wouldn't take
the paint thing for me.
I
No,
wouldn't take
pati si Bruce Wayne Batman naapektuhan
No.
dito sa na to.
Yung
To be
ending
honest
is
with you.
a very sacrificial hero ending. It's
No, I'm not
very fit
talking
for...
about the ending, sir. It's
not
the
the
entire
ending, it's
four parts,
how
not
the
just the ending.
characters act.
Oo.
It's the
Kasi
portrayal.
isipin mo, yung mismong connection ni Miranda at saka ni Batman or ni Bruce Wayne, sana ginawa mo na lang muna Miranda siya for a while until matapos yung movie, setting up na susunod na movie dapat nandun na yung Court of Owls and also si
it's only a trilogy
Talia.
kasi eh.
Yun
Medyo-
nga, pero yun yung hirap kasi ang ginawa nilang ending nito si John Blake, 'di ba, parang could have been better. Could have been better nag-set up kayo ng isa pang kalaban which is na si
I
Talia
don't know
al Ghul
guys,
pala.
medyo debatable na. I think this is a perfect trilogy for me.
For me, it's not.
Started with
Perfect.
Rush.
A perfect
it's rushed
Batman
talaga.
trilogy for me.
For me, it's rushed. Dito siguro tayo magdadraw ng
For-
line
for-
na
for-
when
for-
it comes.
Like nung time na yon, all you have is a trilogy. Ngayon lang nagkaroon ng more than
Four.
3 films. Matrix trilogy, Star Wars
Oh, no.
trilogies.
Only
And-
one Matrix show.
Even yung
Pero-
Pirates of the Caribbean was a
Oh.
trilogy.
Lord of the Rings
was
also,
a
diba?
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Hmm.
So you'd expect na The Dark Knight will be a trilogy. Ngayon lang at this point nagkaroon ng more than 3 films because producers think na
MCU.
we could go on forever with a franchise. But during that time, all they have are trilogies. Kaya you can only do something within 3 films. Yun yung tingin ko. And I think this is a complete Batman story, and I love it dahil it gives us an ending which you don't normally get from any
Well,
Batman story.
tama,
Dahil dire-diretso ang comics, you wouldn't get to the end sa kay Batman. Kaya for me, this is a perfect trilogy given the 3 movies nung time na yon, na
But
yun
it's,
lang yung operating like time that you could do. So
I think, siguro saka tayo nagka-disconnect, sir, because I'm not saying that this wasn't a perfect trilogy. What I was just saying is how Talia actually almost
no,
destroyed the
there
entire
there are
fourth quarter.
criticisms. There are criticisms,
Oh.
definitely. The Bane was one, but I don't think medyo it's enough to say na it ruined the film for me. That's why we're talking about it 10 years after.
Yeah, I
Hindi
love the
natin
movie.
pag-usapan ito 10 years after kung
Pero-
pangit yung pelikula.
No.
Pretty much
guys.
well, it just made it from like a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 or
Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
Something like
And
that.
I can say,
It's not a letdown for me. Hindi siya
I think
hindi siya
Jess would actually get kung anong sinasabi ko eh. Nagigets mo
yeah,
kung anong sinasabi ko.
yeah, because
Diba?
for one, when it came to a trilogy, because I have to bear in mind, Heath Ledger died after the second movie. We never
Oh,
really
yeah.
I
knew
don't-
how the third would come about. But
Mm.
yun na notice ko kay Nolan when it came to his trilogy, it was about the villains being hell-bent in breaking Gotham City. The first, second, the third. The third one was probably a sortie out of the death of Heath Ledger. So
It's like a rewrite,
I-
di ba?
yes, it could have been. Yeah, it could. It's most likely a rewrite.
Yeah,
the
Kasi-
only I think
Oh.
the only difference na if Heath Ledger was alive daw, from what I heard, is siya yung nandun sa instead of Scarecrow dun sa yun lang yung magiging role ni Joker.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, he could.
I heard.
He could also. Yeah, I think I've
Y-
also read that somewhere.
Yun
Kasi
lang
he
yung
does
magiging
admit-
role ni Joker in case na alive siya. Nandun siya
He's an
sa
anarchist. Eh.
Yes, nandun siya sa
Mm.
instead of Scarecrow, siya yung judge dun sa exile, death or exile.
Kaya parang naisip ko yung No Man's Land kasi if you read the storyline, No Man's Land has like different yung mga villains had their specific roles. Territories and roles. So
And
yeah,
to,
the Joker
to,
could have
to
been.
repeat a Joker story is it doesn't make sense. Dahil perfect na rin yung The Dark Knight. It's a
Yeah.
good movie, and to repeat another Joker story doesn't make sense. Kaya I think
Yeah.
it's okay kung lalagay lang si Joker dun sa sa role na yon as a cameo sa isang like trial scene.
Dito hindi natuto yung Dito hindi natuto si Matt Reeves eh. Matt Reeves.
I can say the trilogy is watchable naman. But
It's more
yeah,
than
I
a
can't
watch.
really say.
Ang napapangitan lang ako sa trilogy is nung pinalitan lang si Katie Holmes ni Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yun lang yung unbearable
yeah.
for me.
May
Because it could
sinabi
have been
di ba? Well, hello,
could be a
beautiful,
perfect
pero hindi
trilogy.
naman totoo.
it
Diba?
could have been a perfect trilogy sa akin kung the same yung actress all throughout. Kasi medyo
Ba't Jay, ba't pinalitan siya? Do you remember?
I
Hindi ko alam,
think,
availability or
availability tsaka parang kakakasal lang niya kay Tom Cruise nung time na yun.
Oo. It has something to do with Scientology ata.
Yun tama. The
Gusto
jumping
daw
on the couch thing and
So daw pumasok ni Tom Cruise sa sa Batman.
Scientology.
Yun nga.
for me, it's a complete Batman story that you rarely
It
get.
is a complete Batman story. There's
It's rare.
nothing we're about to debate against it. Siguro yun nga lang yung nag-sour part for me na I understand yung gripes ng tao when it comes to
It almost got
Talia
ruined.
kasi she felt
Doesn't
very
really
out
fit.
of place. Even before, naalala ko na nung una kong pinanood to, nahalata akong kalaban na siya. If you guys remember na kinuha siya ni Bane, right? And then may dumadaan sa likuran niya may baril na dapat nakatutok sa kanya. Hindi nakatutok yung baril sa kanya. So, she's not an hostage.
So nice catch.
Oo. Hindi siya hostage. Saka yung diretso yung tingin niya na parang alam mong kalaban na siya.
Okay.
Pero, what
But
I'm getting into
you know what?
kasi,
Baka this is Nolan's subtlety.
yeah, it is.
na clue siya na she is a villain. And
Like
kung
Raj Al Ghul, he started off as Henry Ducard.
pero iba yung kay Rish eh. Yung kay Rish kahit
Yeah,
paano.
you knew he was the
could
bad guy
feel
from
eh.
the start.
Oh, you could feel eh. 'Di ba? Dito kasi I
Miranda
understand
was
na sobrang pasok ni Miranda Tate as
board of
shock factor
directors.
siya for me. Shock factor siya pero did it serve a good purpose dun sa ibang mga characters
I felt
that they
it was
build up?
kind of a little rushed in kasi
Yeah.
if she says na she had a falling out with the father, took her that long to realize
Oh,
the plot,
diba?
the destruction of Gotham.
Exactly.
That crossed my mind din.
Was it cut
Parang-
from the final output? We really don't know at this point.
So I guess I can relate to what you said about if she was given a build up and not giving that shock factor end part, it could have given a little light to it. Pero yeah, as I said,
Mas
it
maganda
is
pa
still
nga
watchable.
yun sabihin natin na hindi ganun yung pagka-reveal sa kanya. Mas maganda pa yun na nalaman nila. Kunyari nalaman ni Catwoman na kalaban pala talaga siya. It could have been better.
I remember watching it for the first time when she was twisting the knife. The name is Talia. Sabi ko, what the fuck?
Oh, diba?
Talia?
Oh.
So it was quite
the different
shocking
reactions for different people. I was like
suspicious.
Tumayo ako sa sabi ko na nga ba niloloko mo kami nung in-interview ka eh. Sabi ko na nga ba niloloko mo kami.
Ako I never really kasi she's a femme fatale and she dressed up like she was a manang in the movie.
Yung last na niya, yung last na outfit niya is medyo
militaristic na. Hindi,
parang naka-robe siya.
Medyo League of Shadows na yung dating niya eh.
Yung last na outfit niya is medyo.
Which yun, I would agree. Pero again, hindi naman basta-basta mamamatay si Talia al Ghul na mahuhulog yung diba?
Well, hindi na. Nung pinanood ko ulit kanina, you could make a case na hindi siya patay doon because nag-collapse lang naman siya after niya.
Yeah, she fainted.
You could say na she fainted.
I could also say si Ra's al Ghul hindi papatay sa Batman Begins.
Well, diba? Sumabog siya nasa train siya na nasunog eh. So we don't know.
We know Ra's as yung character niya ang hirap, 'di ba? Parang hirap din niya.
But parang yung realistic na ng
Nolan
verse doesn't allow for Lazarus
pit here.
Yeah,
they can't do the Lazarus pit.
Yeah. It doesn't
Kaya
allow
sa
for
parang
Lazarus pit.
Di ba sa first movie sinabi na and they say Ra's al Ghul is immortal, parang ganun.
Although dun sa movie na to there's an allusion to his immortality nung ini-imagine siya ni Bruce Wayne. So we don't know kung ano ibig sabihin nito baka
it's another Nolan mindfuck.
Yeah.
It's like Inception eh.
Inception.
Inception. Oh my god. Peak Nolan
like the dream sequence, yun, yung dream na sinasabi ni Alfred na seeing Bruce in a cafe with someone else. Parang Inception moment yun eh. Pero the part where Lucius Fox found out where there was actually a change in the autopilot. Ayun yung
it would be a bad storytelling kung linagay nila yung clue na yon. Tapos dream sequence yung ending. It would be bad
that
storytelling.
would be bad.
Kaya I doubt na dream sequence yan.
No.
Yeah,
the Lucius Fox scene confirmed that he did survive.
Yeah.
At least.
So the question there is kailan nila kailanganin si Batman ulit? Diba? Parang
they have John Blake
open-ended.
Yeah, the whole point there is Batman's retired permanently.
Yeah,
Bruce Wayne is retired as Batman.
Pero John Blake looks like a scrawny Batman.
Pero diba,
you can blame what's his name? Wait, what's the guy's name?
Gordon Levitt.
Si Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Pero hindi magandang.
Yeah, he's a small guy.
Hindi magandang Batman si Christian Bale. Yung sculpt ng mukha niya. In fact,
and the mask, it kind of
mask
make him pudgy.
I doubt na may statue na magandang Christian Bale Batman. That
There
would-
Yung
is
Hot Toys.
one-third
Yung Hot
one-third
Toys.
scale ng Prime 1.
It's not. I don't think it's a good looking stat
Well,
or toy.
It's the face.
Versus Pattinson's Batman.
Pattinson.
Mas gusto ko si Bale. Sorry, for me. Yung kung yung laruan
I like his
laruan lang.
acting. Gusto ko yung acting niya. But yung korte ng mukha. Actually, kailangan mo ng konting yung voice ni
Patabain
Bale.
mo yung mukha.
Kailangan mo ng konting getting used to.
They should have used modulator voice dito kay
Maganda
Batman.
yung voice ni Batfleck. I like his voice
may
there.
may modulator.
Uses a voice
modulator.
modulator for that.
It kinda needs a little getting used to yung voice ni Bale. Eh minsan nainis nga ako nung
Oh yeah.
Natuwa nga ako nung biglang nawala si Catwoman, di ba? Nung parang so that's how it is like. Parang mag-isa ka na lang ganyan pa rin ang boses mo.
May here's a question siguro. Here's a question for everyone. Simulan ko na kay Sir Jerald. Kung ikaw si Batman, Sir Jerald, tama ba yung gagawin mo? Lulusubin mo si Bane and head on? Yung sa final scene na yun? Or are you going to go to the traditional Batman na within the shadows pa rin mag-operate?
Doon sa yung naka-line
all-out
ng mga
battle
police, di ba yun? Kasama ba si nasa
hindi, ano ba siya? Bigla siyang pumasok, di ba?
Wala na siyang luxury maghintay ng gabi dahil sabog na yung
No, I mean kasi, di ba?
Let me review that scene. Kasi si Batman parang
pumasok na siya bigla somewhere. Diba?
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere bigla na siya nandun.
Actually, yun ang isang funny scene. Ang funny, hindi realistic yung yung parang may mga baril yung mga kalaban mo, tapos mga police, mga baton lang yung hawak nila.
Actually,
tapos susugot sila. That is nobody would do that. That is a losing strategy. So
and kailangan mo ng konting suspension of disbelief kasi isa lang yung kanyon na pasabog ni Batman Ibig sabihin, tatlo yung tangke doon So, ibig sabihin, pwede pang pagbabarili ng dalawang tangke yung mga pulis but hindi nila ginawa.
Well, dumating naman si Batman pala kasi yung helicopter niya
Pinark niya muna.
After parang may standoff sila, di ba?
Pero police. After nun, kung ikaw ba si Batman, magpapakita ka uli or self-strike ang gagawin mo? Ibang tactic ang gagamitin mo for it?
I'm good
kasi may
with
tinatawag na Predator mode sa di ba? Sa Arkham.
I'm good with what they I'm good with what they did here. You can do it in 1,000 different ways. Pero I'm good. I can live with what they did in here. Hindi yung sugod lang ng mga police head on like that.
Mali.
Hindi lang ako maniniwala na merong ganun kasi you can be your bravery will mean nothing kasi kung patay ka.
Well, medyo wala silang choice sasabog din naman yung bomba Yun yata yung mindset doon.
Siguro.
Do or die.
We'd rather die here fighting.
Adrenaline.
In a few minutes sasabog din yung bomba, we'll die anyway. Kaya
tsaka adrenaline.
Well, you could have at least used mga metal shields and gano'n. Not like that.
True.
Not like that. But you could have used nagtutulak sila ng mga basurahan, 'di ba?
Snipers.
Meron silang di ba? Meron silang mga way to protect themselves a little bit. 'Di ba? Okay, use tear gas to disperse.
I think the fight scene wasn't really
it could have been done more kasi all throughout the film they pinapakita nila na strategic yung mga tao dito
So, pagdating dito hindi ni, 'di ba?
Oh, 'di ba? Kasi 'di ba?
Doon
pa lang sa simula, doon sa plane, 'di ba? Strategic lahat ng galaw Wag kang sasama, diyan ka lang. magpapaiwan
Doesn't
ka,
make sense
diba?
na wala silang baril dito, dahil
Dito,
na-trap lang naman sila sa
Assault
tunnel.
rifles talaga.
Definitely dala nila
they could
yung
use cars to ram cars. It could have been done more creatively and mas spectacular yung effect for sure. Yeah, meron silang mga na-hijack na mga truck, 'di ba? Pwede nilang gamitin 'yan eh.
Or
Honestly, more
may
epic if
mga
they were
snipers
more
din yung
organized.
police force.
Yes.
Position sa buildings.
Well, let's say they got all the guns kasi na ano eh, 'di ba? Alam ko na infiltrate
Underground.
yung ano eh, 'di ba?
They were just
So let's say wala silang
sa
guns
underground,
talaga. Kasi kung may guns sila, lalabanan nila talaga
I
'yan.
think
Yun nga,
they
were
did
disarmed.
kasi they were armed with
disarmed?
guns.
Yeah, I think they were armed with
they were
guns.
armed with guns in
Na-trap sila
when
sa
they were
underground
trapped.
dahil i-ano na si Bane eh. I-ambush nila si Bane.
Nawala, di ba nawala?
Yeah, they were armed.
Unless pumunta sila sa underground na baton lang talaga dala nila para hulihin si Bane.
They were armed.
They could have they could have used some tactical shields to at least close the gap and not rush
head on.
Yun ang doon ako medyo napapikit na parang bakit ganun.
I mean, these guys are the police. To shield walls.
And going back to yung pinag-usapan nyo kanina, yung kay Talia, siguro ang isang sabi ni tawag dito ni JM kung pwede siyang tanggalin na lang. Sa akin okay naman na nandun siya, pero ang storytelling wise kasi ang naging epekto ni Talia is hindi mo alam ngayon kung sinong love interest ni Batman, kung si Selina Kyle o si Talia eh, 'di ba? So nag-i-invest ka doon sa dalawa. 'Di ba? Nag-i-invest ka doon sa dalawa kasi nung nagfe-flirting si Bruce Wayne at saka si Selina, tapos parang nililigawan niya pa, pinupuntahan niya pa eh, 'di ba? So he's pursuing tawag dito si Selina Kyle. Tapos biglang pinuntahan naman siya ni Talia after naputulan siya ng kuryente, 'di ba? so
I saw it as Batman for Catwoman, Bruce Wayne for Tate.
Yeah,
pwede.
That makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. Siguro yun ng isang, pero ako kasi parang medyo na ano ako doon, parang medyo nagulo ako kasi parang gusto ko nang mag-invest kay kay Batman and Selina kasi sila yung nauna, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Bigla meron.
Yep.
Tsaka parang change of heart si Selina sa huli.
Oo, si ano naman, ano bang nangyari kay
Miranda?
Kay Miranda, after niya lang
nangyari sa kanila.
After niya lang mag-sex, 'di ba? Ano siya? Biglang nagulpi na siya ni
Bane.
Ni Bane, 'di ba? 'Yun ang nangyari. So naudlot na naman ng kanyang sex life ni
Naalala ko yung college humor version.
In an order that
now if
in an order that would surprise you.
Sorry.
So now will removing Miranda affect the story?
Not really.
Siguro kailangan, if ang gripe ko lang naman talaga is yung outcome nung reveal kay Miranda is na reduce yung kaastigan ni Bane eh. Yun. If they can devise a way para maging okay. Kasi maganda yung kwento ni Talia kasi siya yung bata, 'di ba? Tapos tumakas siya dun sa
that's why for me, Sir Jerald, that's why they could have given her a bigger role, 'di ba? In a different movie. Yun yung point ko. Yes. Na sana hindi nila reveal kaagad na siya si Talia al Ghul, 'di ba? If you set it up for the next movie na tipong si Talia na pala yung kalaban natin sa susunod. Hindi pa magre-retire si Batman talaga. Kasi obviously we know na buhay si Batman dito.
So
And then
so ang
buhay din si Selena Kyle.
so
So,
you wait. Do you so ang you're suggesting na magkaroon ng fourth installment na si Talia yung
yes.
kalaban.
Yes.
Okay.
The amount of
I
money
mean,
na
instead
meron
of
sila.
having the big reveal where
So
Miranda
yun yung
revealed
point
that
mo
she's
kanina.
Talia,
Oo.
it could
Kasi
be
di ba sayang eh. Yun yung sinasabi
Ang
ko. Sayang
ang
yung
ang
character niya. Big,
ang
could
worry
make
ko
Okay
doon
lang naman.
make the
ang worry ko doon is baka baka if you go more than 3 films mag-end in mediocrity ang
I
ang
doubt it. Kasi
franchise.
I
I'm not sure if there is
Nolan has a lot of
good
material to work
story.
with.
yun nga eh, marami pang pwedeng gawin sana. I'm not saying na push it mo na parang katulad sa Star Trek na 6, 7 na movies. Kasi
Yeah.
once you reach the Alguls na, pwede mo na incorporate din kasi doon yung Court of Owls, which probably would be the last one. Kasi kung tutuusin, sila na yung pinakahuli. Talaga.
And hindi related ang Court of Owls sa Alguls.
Well, yeah.
Medyo
Pero
ibang
these are both, sabihin na natin ganun, pero
Depend
diba?
on controlling the city.
Okay,
controlling
ang
Gotham.
problema, ang magiging problema diyan JM is ang story arc nitong Dark Knight Rises is parang ano yan eh.
Battle for Gotham na to.
Hindi, at saka ano siya, aside from that, parang retirement ni basically how did Batman retire? Yun ang isang sinasagot nitong question na to eh. So ang mangyayari kung gagawan pa tayo ng isa pang ganun, yung buong build up, you would have to rewrite everything. Kasi
yung sacrifice
kasi mangyayari kasi yung wait, yung sa simula kasi sineset up ni na Alfred na parang yung mga talks nila na parang hindi ka kumbaga meron akong wish na ganito, da sana ganito bang mangyari sa iyo. Are you really Bruce Wayne or Batman, and are you just really waiting for things to go to shit again para maging masaya ka? Yun yung mga initial questions ng ng movie eh.
I agree.
You know,
it will be
how
a big rewrite.
I would set it up. Parehas pa rin ito. And Jess, you know kung paano nag-end ang di ba? Ang Dark Knight Returns. Nasa si Batman nun. Underground.
This will be another retirement after 8 years na naman or so.
No.
Tapos, it will come out again.
Kasi you have you have established na nandyan si Robin eh. If you get what I mean.
Siguro by that time, hindi na si Batman yung main man. Yun ang mangyayari. So it's not gonna be a Batman anymore.
There's a danger na mag-end in
Batman
mediocrity
Beyond
itong
na yung dating ng konti.
Yeah,
Pero
the movie is actually a swan song of Nolan's to the trilogy. Kasi daming giveaway eh. Like everyone can be Batman is just a symbol.
All of the quotes, di ba?
Tapos
wait lang.
Ang danger dito is baka it will stretch.
Katulad nito sinabi ni Mika.
Ang danger dito baka mag-stretch ito unnecessarily, and baka mamaya parang si Nolan will give up para may mag-take over na parang mala Joel Schumacher na mag-end in
No, I don't think so. I don't think
franchise.
Nolan would be that director, Sir Jay, na ibibigay niya sa ibang tao yung ginagawa niya. I don't based on treatment ng characters niya.
Seriously.
Is it
He has a kind of work ethic to him, so
kasi
they could have they will need to rewrite this para mag-allow ng fourth film. Medyo yung let's say yung sacrifice sa dulo ni Batman is an end of the series kind of sacrifice. I doubt na
tuloy pa rin lahat. For me, tuloy pa rin lahat. Wala akong babaguhin sa ending nito movie na to. It's just going to be a continuation except this part around. Imbes na yung ending mo si John Blake yung ipapakita mo, ang ipapakita kong ending ko is two-faced na na approach pagdating kay Miranda Tate. So lalabas nito, siya nagpakananan lahat nanto. Instead of, alam mo yun, Jess, instead na linabas natin siya na ganito na sinasako si Batman and then ako si Talia al Ghul. No, parang pangit din ang dating eh. We know Talia al Ghul is a very powerful person then. And anak siya ng the devil. So she
The
needs a
demon.
treatment talaga na proper as a very parang a big bad also. So yun ang dating sa akin. It's inevitable to set up another movie kung yung route kong kukunin. I agree with everyone else na this is the quintessential trilogy ng Batman na gusto talaga natin. And nothing will come close. But when you do open your mind a little bit, marami pa saan silang ginawa. And I would stand firm na the last arc should hit home. And when I mean hit home, there's nothing better than to combine yung the Al Ghuls and also the Court of Owls. Kasi yun, that would be a very compelling storyline kung paano mo gagawin yun. Dahil now,
Medyo medyo
mahirap
mahaba nga
siya.
lang yung yung Court of Owls kasi
medyo
sa Court
mahaba
of
siya.
Sa Court of Owls storyline,
That's
doon
12 issues, di ba?
Kaya
tsaka
ayo-
na-reveal na yung anak ni ni Batman, si Damien. Is,
Exactly.
he
Kaya
has
nandun na rin
a
si ano,
clone.
di ba? Kaya nandun na rin si Talia.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Sa-
combining both. Yun yung sa
Sa
akin.
akin, I can live with
Damn, let
with
me
this.
get this.
Yeah.
So
We
instead
can
of
all
the
live
scene
naman.
where Jason Bates finds the Batcave, we get a
Jason
scene of Jacob.
Jacob.
Basta.
Jogo.
Jogo.
Si
John Blake.
Jogo.
John
Jogo.
Blake. John Blake.
Si Joseph
John Blake.
Gordon-Levitt.
Or use your proper name, Robin. Sabi nga sa kanya. Diba?
Instead of Robin going into the Batcave,
Mm.
what you're saying is have Miranda Tate walk in something like to the Court of Owls, and then they all
Talking to
acknowledge
them.
her as Talia al Ghul,
Mm.
something like that. Is that
Yung
what
parang
you're...
Kumbaga,
magpapakita siya.
James' point din
We're just
is,
playing what if kind of
Oo.
Yeah.
Di siguro yung
hypothetical.
reveal ni Talia would be hindi niya
Delayed.
sasabihin na siya si Talia.
doon sa trilogy.
Someone else will tell na so that
So yeah,
the
she walks
daughter
into
of
the Court of
demon
Owls and
is
they
here.
acknowledge her as
Yun. The
Talia al
daughter
Ghul.
of the demon is here. And then mag-zoom
yeah.
sa kanya.
And then, as
There
in
you have
from that scene from behind, and then
From behind.
when the court says,
Tatalikod.
"Welcome, daughter of the demon," the
Yun.
camera
Ganun.
turns and zooms to her face. Oh my
Mm.
god, that's actually fucking good.
Diba?
Pwede.
Yeah, the
And it's like the
Wait, Nolan
sabihin natin.
Pero the package
cinematography.
was a trilogy nga lang for
Yun nga
Nolan.
eh.
Yeah,
No.
Yun nga.
During that time, trilogy lang talaga ang
Yeah, the
mga
idea
Tsaka
of
wala pa
I'm
yung
franchise.
Court of
disagreeing
Owls.
with anyone here talaga na maganda yung trilogy. And it's set up perfectly. Pero, yun nga. It left
it's a
room
good,
for me.
it's a good trilogy.
na-
It's a solid trilogy.
I would agree with the Talia reveal to have been maganda naman siya, pero yes, it kind of
Kaso
seemed
sinaksak lang niya
premature.
siguro.
It was premature and parang
Yeah.
rushed. It could have had more build up, but
Yeah.
ayun, it is what it is. It's like a shock factor.
Yun nga. Shock character si Italia. I mean, Miranda,
Still good.
I could have also picked a different character or actress for Miranda Tate kung tutusin. Somewhat, probably a little bit closer to Talia's physique and also yung attitude.
Yes.
Kaya nga sinasabi ko kanina, Anne Hathaway could have been Talia al Ghul.
Actually,
Diba?
I
she's
agree ako doon.
definitely-
Kasi si Anne Hathaway,
Pati yard.
hindi ko siya gusto as nung when I first read the news about her being Catwoman.
Yeah.
Kasi she looks too angelic to me to be
Mm.
Catwoman.
Nung first.
Sobrang
Oh.
angelic kasi si
Sinong
and
mo?
look-
Sir
and look-
Jerald, sinong mo? Pick mo. Kung
back
tutusin.
then,
Dito.
back,
Oo.
I don't know, hindi ko
May mga ibang in the
Ibang
running na
actresses mo?
Catwoman. Let's
Hindi
say
ko
si
alam
Emily
teka.
Blunt was
Emily
in the
Blunt?
running.
Emily Blunt
na
pwede din
Catwoman.
Talia.
pwede. Actually,
Wala
pwede
pa
si
si
Blunt.
Emily nung time na yun.
Emily Blunt pwede.
I'm hearing
Daga.
before na Emily Blunt was in the running sa Catwoman.
Catwoman.
And yung
Okay.
before.
Let me check.
Pero ang napili is
Wikipedia.
yung si Anne Hathaway na kasama niya doon sa Devil Wears Prada din na pelikula.
Teka,
Oh, yes.
sino bang mga actresses nung mga panahon na yun? Hindi ko na maalala eh.
Yun yung
Oh.
pinaka in the running.
2000
Keira Knightley, pwede din.
Pwede.
Yeah, I think
Pwede si
pwede.
Teka.
Kaso masyadong babalina si Kira, tsaka
Yun lang. Oo.
she's kind of
Natalie
flat.
Portman, si Natalie Portman
yeah,
masyadong
true.
Hindi, ano. I
Tama
suppose
lang yung
pwede rin,
physique
teka.
ni Anne sa akin. And
so may
ang alam ko si Anne Hathaway is kind of notorious din sa
Ang gripe ko lang kay Anne Hathaway talaga noon when I heard na siya yung Catwoman and when I saw the picture is hindi siya nag-short hair. Yun lang. When nung nag-short hair siya dun sa Les Miserables, which is the same time
maganda
din
yung movie na yun.
lumabas. Parang naka-short hair ka sa Les Miserables, hindi ka nag-short hair sa Catwoman.
I know.
Sa The
Pero hindi
Dark
ko
Knight
ma-imagine
Rises.
na short hair siya sa dito eh. I mean, it fit well kung tutuusin eh. Kasi
In hindsight, nung napanood ko yung movie, it did fit well. But nung nakita ko yung pictures, parang, sana short hair
it's
ka.
not Catwoman.
Yeah.
Tsaka
ito
yung interpretation ni Nolan eh. Catwoman has been portrayed in various images in
mediums.
I mean, kahit sa story or sa mediums eh. Sa animated series, she's wealthy, she's well off. May secretary pa nga siya and she donates money to wildlife and such. Tapos sa iba, she comes from parang hard knocks way of life. So iba-iba talaga. Dito
Let me
parang
tell you isang rumor kung sino yung magiging Catwoman noon. Si Cher.
Cher.
You heard that?
She's a relic.
Nadinig yun. Cher.
Do you believe?
Catwoman.
Do you believe that she could be Catwoman?
Yun yung rumor before na Catwoman.
Do you
Si
believe
Cher.
Cher could be Catwoman?
That would have been off.
Anyway, may sinasabi si Migo dito, in my imagined reality, the Dark Knight trilogy is if Batman really happened in real life. Yeah. And the comics and the character is molded by his legend. That being said, this is why I love the Dark Knight trilogy kasi it provides us fans to have a new perspective on Batman's mythology
Yes.
as a whole, which... sorry?
True.
And actually, the reason why I watch it is especially if it's an escape it's a form of escapism, pero it gives you parang something to strive for, like regardless how sucky life may be or how hopeless it is, when you watch such movies or with such themes, it gives you a sense of parang don't give up, yung typical superhero movies that give you yung parang a fighting chance when it comes to reality. So parang that yung Nolan realism gives that feel eh. Parang mas lalo kang makaka-relate.
Makes it more
considering
attainable.
Exactly.
Alam mo sinong
Considering it's a fantasy superhero. Yes.
Alam mo sino magandang Catwoman?
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams. Sa mukha.
Mukha po. Mukha po.
Sa mukha, 'di ba? Rachel McAdams. Actually si Amanda Seyfried pwede rin eh. Sa mukha.
Pwede din.
Diba?
Back then
Tapos
pwede din.
short hair mo.
Yeah, back
short
then.
hair mo.
Yeah. Seyfried.
Actually,
Sure,
Amanda
Red Riding Hood.
Seyfried with
Rachel,
short hair.
pero kung ako between Anne Hathaway and Rachel McAdams, I would probably go with Rachel.
Anne Hathaway. Oh,
Yeah,
Ako,
that's right.
Anne Hathaway ka?
Anne Hathaway ako. Siguro kung nandun si Rachel
Or
McAdams,
Catwoman,
probably... Catwoman, oo.
Oo.
And then shift ko si Anne Hathaway as Talia al Ghul.
Oo, ganun.
Pwede.
Ganun.
Oo. Bagay yun. Even for me.
Seyfried
So,
could have been a
Adams-
blonde Selena din eh, like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, yeah.
Way too angelic kasi yung itsura ni talaga sa akin. For me,
Anne Hathaway.
si Anne Hathaway.
Princess.
Pag
Princess
nag-imagine
types,
ako ng anghel na itsura, si Anne Hathaway na naiisip ko eh.
Devil Wears Prada.
Ganyan itsura ng anghel.
Yeah.
Ganun.
Mm.
Parang ganun eh.
Or pwede din si
Pero
pwede
she's
din
not
si-
an angel though.
How about Kate Beckinsale as Catwoman?
Pwede.
Oh my God.
Lalo
Pwede.
from the
she's-
Underworld
she's-
series.
I think
she's
it's
comfy
Kate
with leather
Beckinsale,
kasi.
pwede.
Yeah.
Or it's either
She's comfy in
Catwoman siya
leather.
or Talia.
Short hair works with
Diba?
her. I mean, the
Talia pwede.
shoulder length hair. She looks great in it.
Shoulder leg. Yun nga yung sinasabi ni Sir Jay na medyo maikli yung buhok.
Yeah.
Oo.
Hindi,
Pwede rin siyang
ano,
Talia.
boyish actually yung book ni Catwoman eh. Boyish.
Oo.
Si
Yeah.
'di ba? Si Kate Beckinsale. Maikli yung buhok na sa Underworld. And then if you could see even yung katawan niya. I could see.
Yeah, perfect build.
How about Scarlett Johansson as Catwoman?
Hindi,
Si Scarlett.
I find her too
Oo.
generic.
Parang
Parang she
ganda,
does not fight.
Maliit siya.
Tsaka
Medyo.
At saka parang anghel din ng mukha ni ni pangalan ni
Ni
Scarlett.
Scarlett?
Sergio?
Anghel na anghel na kinky.
Battle?
Si Uy, pero
Anghel na pwede.
in the early 2000s, si Scarlett, siya, silang dalawa ni
yeah,
Jessica
sexy na.
Alba yung talagang
Jessica
hottest.
Alba is another.
What about Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Hindi
She's
hindi
more like
masyado,
the athletic type eh. Parang
Yeah,
she's
she's
the
yeah,
athletic
perfect sa akin.
her
Ano
jawline,
Of course.
Jessica Biel's jawline siguro, yun ang medyo deal breaker sa akin sa itsura ni
Sa Blade Trinity doon
Catwoman,
mo makikita yung
Kaya perfect sa akin yung
pagka-athleticism.
si Michelle
Anne
Pfeiffer
Hathaway.
as
Oh,
Michelle
Oo,
Pfeiffer
wow
as
naman.
Catwoman eh.
Mm.
Because yung mata niya, meron siyang
Crazy
The voice.
lunatic eh. Oo.
voice. Oh, yung voice eh.
Meow.
Iconic. Tsaka yung yung mata niya, cat-like eyes eh.
Zendaya daw as cat. Come on, man.
Zendaya.
Zendaya. No
Actually,
way.
actually si Margot Robbie. She could have
Pwede
been
din.
Catwoman, parang breakthrough niya. Instead
Ano yung
of Wolf
kamukha
of
niya?
Wall Street.
Di ba yung kamukha siya?
Pwede.
Kasi 2010,
Pwede.
2013 na pala yung Wolf of Wall Street eh. 'Di ba? So
Oh, yeah.
just
Like
1
she-
year.
years.
So
Or
Balik tayo na
or
next year.
or Amber Heard.
When the shit
Diba?
hits the fan.
Amber
Well,
Heard.
to be honest, si Amber Heard, sayang siya. Talaga,
Oo,
She's a
sayang.
Yeah,
pretty,
yeah.
she's a pretty lady.
Oo.
Hmm.
I know.
Wala na akong maisip na pwede. Except for Kate Beckinsale, probably my top pick. Either
Yeah.
or.
Charlize Theron din. Kung
Hindi na,
gagawin mo
matanda na
black,
siya eh.
gagawin mo black yung
Charlize.
hair
Charlize
ni Charlize.
Theron,
Pero oversaturated na tayo sa Charlize.
Siya yung
Dami na.
nag-Aeon Flux, di ba?
Oh my
May
God.
Aeon
Yeah.
Flux siya
siguro
before. So,
Charlize,
She's everywhere.
and
No.
Mila Jovovich.
Oh my
Mila
God.
Jovovich. Diba?
may isang
Fatigue.
mala Catwoman, may rumor na Catwoman before eh. Sino yung girl dun sa Baby Driver? Yung alam mo
Yeah,
Baby
yung
Driver?
sa Cinderella.
Lily
No.
Hindi
Ayun,
si Lily James yung
Lily
isang girl dun
Isa
sa Baby
Gonzalez?
Driver. Oh, yun, Asa Gonzalez.
Oh my
She
God,
was-
I saw her
She has been
in
rumored
From Dusk
before.
Till
Eliza
Dawn, the
Gonzalez.
series.
Isa
There's a
Gonzalez.
Netflix series of From Dusk Till Dawn. Asa Gonzalez as
So she was,
Salma Hayek.
and I would prefer her kesa kay Zoe Kravitz sana.
Oh, yeah.
Pero
Ang
in
dami
fairness,
ngayon.
Isa
Zoe
Gonzalez
is
has better
is a
build.
pretty lady.
Yeah,
What?
she is.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz.
She's a pretty lady.
Yeah, she is.
But still,
Okay,
Asa
siguro.
Gonzalez.
Okay.
Ito na lang, siguro another question, yung pairing ni Batman dito and also Catwoman versus Batman and Catwoman dun sa The Batman 2022.
I
Ano
prefer the
masasabi?
Keaton Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah.
Kasi
Yeah.
parang
Ang
tragic
ganda
si
nung,
si Pfeiffer eh.
Anong tanong?
Yung comparison ng mga pairing
Pfeiffer,
ng
Keaton,
Catwoman and
or
Batman.
Bale Hathaway.
And also,
And-
itong Pattinson pati,
I'll go
And
with
yung
Keaton Pfeiffer.
yung Pfeiffer na Catwoman will pull off talaga yung Catwoman costume because siya parang crazy kind of Catwoman siya.
Oo.
So
Crazy cat
dito
lady type.
dito sa mga bagong installment ng Catwomans, parang Catwomen, paano
Need to
sila
answer
maglalagay
this
ng
question.
ears sa costume, di ba?
Tsaka yung the fight scene ni Pfeiffer, 'di ba, sa rooftop, she was very feral and seductive.
Galing, ang galing.
Dinilaan niya si Keaton.
Which is what you
Diba?
expect, di ba?
Yes.
That's something na
Catwoman.
really catty na basta.
And ang nawawala sa mga Catwoman ngayon is yung pagiging seductress niya. Yun yung nawawala.
Pfeiffer
Wala siya kay Anne
Pfeiffer.
Hathaway and wala siya kay Zoe Kravitz.
Pfeiffer was
Very
Did for a bit, but yeah, not to the extent as Michelle Pfeiffer.
very tuned down yung kay Anne Hathaway na
Toned down.
Yeah.
At, teka. Let me just ask yung mga kumu kung may nanonood. May nanonood ba sa kumu? Ayun, let's go back.
Yung pagiging
Kung
seductress
hindi,
ni
papatay
Catwoman
na yung
goes
kumu.
back pa kay Julian Newmar
Julie Newmar, yeah.
Nung pinortray niya.
Adam West.
Yes.
West.
Nung pinortray niya si Catwoman.
Mukhang maganda yung pairing nila, no? Hindi ko pa napapanood eh.
Yung Pfeiffer?
Yung kay Julie Newmar.
Okay.
Maganda. Actually, yun yung nag-initiate sa akin sa Batman yung mga Adam West na TV
Pero hindi ko
series.
na ma-imagine si Batman na na comedy ngayon talaga.
Oh no.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Schumacher wanted to revive that actually.
Yeah, parang Adam West
Doon
actually.
na lang sila sa
Camping.
Batman in
Camping.
Lego Batman na lang. Stop it there.
Yeah.
Doon na.
Pwede. Just leave it to Lego Batman.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Siguro
Goodness,
ako,
yung Schwarzenegger, the lines, the
And to answer
puns.
your question kung Anne Hathaway
or any of the
Bale
three.
or
Yeah.
ano,
Bale
kung
Hathaway.
kung sinama mo si Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer then
Oh,
sige, sama
yun
mo
yung
na rin.
pipick ko. Yun yung pipick ko actually. Kung sinama mo si Keaton Pfeiffer.
I would siguro ako din Michelle Pfeiffer and also Michael Keaton, but I would love to see Michelle Pfeiffer and Christian Bale. I would love to see that. Kung sabihin natin both in their prime, sabay magkakas na ganun din yung Catwoman.
Correct. Keaton is like medyo
Pero parang Keaton kasi has this weirdness yung parang
alam mo kung sinong magandang kay pair kay Keaton? It's Anne Hathaway. Yung character niya.
I
For me.
can't really imagine. Pero
Keaton okay si Keaton nung pag naka-Batman mask siya, but as Bruce Wayne medyo parang hindi siya
aloof si
playboy
or
aloof si Keaton.
How about
Keaton?
Christian Bale has a great Bruce Wayne like
how about if you throw
he's like
Ben Affleck
playboy
in the
billionaire.
If
He's
you-
really
if
got
you
that
throw-
vibe to him.
I mean,
Si
question si GM.
Affleck.
If you throw Ben Affleck in the mix, sino dun sa tatlong Catwoman ang pipiliin mong i-pair sa kanya?
I think it would be Pfeiffer pa rin kasi
Yeah,
si
yeah,
Affleck
Pfeiffer
parang
kay
comics
Affleck, yeah.
version tapos yung Pfeiffer has the catty seductress femme fatale
Yes.
side eh.
I
She'll
mean,
play him
which
like a
in-
mouse.
sure. Have you seen? What do you think of Ben Affleck's scene as Bruce Wayne scene? Those scenes in the party with
It was written wrong, pre. Yun ang masasabi ko. Mali yung scripting
party
niya kay
scenes?
Batman. Oo.
Yeah,
Sa
the party
party
scene.
scenes.
Di ba ito rin yung sinabi niya, I like your shoes. Pucha, sabi ko, hindi sasabihin ni Batman yun. Ay, ni Bruce Wayne yun.
Oh yeah.
Yun eh.
I like the party scenes.
Medyo
ni
goofy
Bruce
kasi
Wayne.
si Bruce Wayne eh. Bruce Wayne is a bit goofy. Kaya I medyo off ako dun sa Pattinson Bruce Wayne eh, because Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is exactly Batman. Parang hindi ka pwedeng mag-pretend na hindi ka si Batman kung
Emo.
exactly the same yung character mo. Batman pa rin kahit na naka-Bruce Wayne ka na.
Emo
I think
Wayne.
the explanation na meron sa'yo dun because that was year 1, year 2, Batman, Bruce Wayne na hindi pa
Si
namin balance.
Christian Bale is year 1 Batman.
Pero
may contrast yung
Oo,
Bruce Wayne
meron.
niya sa Batman.
Yeah, at least.
and Nolan added an additive kasi through Alfred. Let's say you go on a ski resort, accidents and bruises. So parang sinuggest ni Alfred na you should have an alter ego na playboy ka, yung ganun. Lalo na yung part na na sinabihan siya ni Ra's al Ghul na I'm going to burn the house down. Tapos he pretended, why don't you all, you sycophants, blah blah blah, go home. Ang galing. So
Kaya nga. And yun yung question, parang
Bale,
who is the alter
Bale-
ego, di ba? Parang yun yung
Bale plays a good Bruce Wayne.
who is the alter
Bale
ego?
plays a great Bruce Wayne.
So when it comes to Pattinson, parang
Sycophants.
walang alter ego eh.
Wala eh. Emo na emo eh. Twilight yung dating.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
Actually, hindi ko pa matapos.
Hindi pa napapanood.
Hindi ko matapos eh. Hindi ko matapos yung The Batman eh. It's
dragging. It's something I'd watch
I'll
once.
be honest, it does
Nakatulog
Pattinson a disservice. In his other movies,
Magaling siya.
yeah. I mean,
okay naman siya, no?
Hindi
Pattinson,
pangit.
no?
Hindi
May elements naman.
Hindi sobrang pangit yung The Batman.
No.
It's okay because that's all we have.
Pinag-usapan na namin ni Sir J ito eh.
Yeah.
He captures the rage and vengeance of Batman. Yung pagbugbog niya. Nakikita mo talaga yung rage.
Do you think
My wife
Ano
saw it
niya?
in 3 installments. Diba? 3
ganun
installments.
din yung kaibigan ko eh.
So parang
Yung
ilang
kaibigan
beses
ko nga
niya-
nagigitara pa daw eh. Nagigitara pa siya.
Tatlong
Titigil
oras
siya
eh.
kailangan maggitara.
So it's yung wife ko pag binge watcher yan eh. Pag binge watcher talagang manonood diyan. Siya 3
Anyway.
installments siya pinanood yun. Tapos parang bakit
Natulog
kaya nangyari kay Batman. No, ganun siya. Pero dahil actually habang nag-uusap kayo may hinahanap ako eh.
Ano yun?
Ano yun?
The best para sa akin isa lang ang the best Catwoman.
Okay.
Which is?
Halle Berry.
Razzie Award na yun.
Hindi nyo narinig eh. Hindi nyo narinig.
Hindi ka na
Go ahead.
No, I
Ang
didn't-
isa lang ang the best na Catwoman and that is the one and only Tory Black. Hindi ko kilala si Tory Black.
Wait. I don't think I've seen that Catwoman yet.
Oh my
Mukhang yan yung
Okay.
yung
Okay.
mukhang
I get it. Kasi may mga ganyang pangalan para
Hindi.
medyo underground ano yan eh. Ibang
Pero
version
yung
ng
Halle
Batman
Berry
yata
na
yung
Catwoman was weird eh.
Hindi, pero hindi if you kung hindi siya kung di porn star yon pwede siya eh. Pwede talaga yung itsura niya.
Pwede.
Tory
Siya
Black.
yung siya yung modernized na sabihin natin na Julie Newmar yung dating.
Yeah.
Pwede.
Hindi ko kilala yung sinabi mo.
Julie Newmar.
kasi
Kapag dinala mo si
Ah.
Julie Newmar itong panahon
Redhead
na to.
siya. Redhead siya.
Oo.
Parang ganun. Parang mas matapang na Jean Grey ang itsura niya eh. Parang ganun eh.
Mm.
Si
ginger.
Oh. Sa pagkakaalam ko ha,
Yan.
syempre nagpapalit-palit sila ng buhok.
Oo.
Pero days naku, asa ka pa na magkakaroon ng ginger na they've been
I
blackwashing it.
They're not gonna make it. Oh, yun. So,
Pero sayang lang. It
dami.
we already
sayang.
reached 3 hours
Would have been-
ngayon.
Saya ng
And
usapan.
Sayang.
Yeah.
Would be nice if
Siguro,
Eiza Gonzalez as Catwoman
Yeah,
instead of Zoe Kravitz.
Siya yung siya yung rumored before na Catwoman.
Sayang. I mean,
Sayang, di ba?
imagine
Well-
Eiza Gonzalez, her figure in the Catwoman
Yeah.
costume.
Pero
it's
ngayon,
hard-
But
it's
hard
with Anne
to
Hathaway.
recast.
and the sad part is ang nung nagkaroon ng final decisions kung sino yung magiging Catwoman, the only criteria na pinili nila is being black. Kaya kasama doon si Tessa Thompson, yung si Valkyrie,
God, no.
Oh God.
part of the
Wrong
choices.
Migo, si Tessa Thompson daw.
So yun lang yung
Anthony's
only,
favorite.
that's
Tingnan mo
the
to, may
only
sinabi si Migo. If the MCU handled Catwoman.
You're right, Miko. I wouldn't be
probably.
surprised.
Bro, hindi furry ang
Furry,
magagalit ang mga
nakakalabatan
furry.
niya.
Yan ang
Mga
yan ang that's one role na na magre-revolt ang mga furry. Pag gano ka. Appropriation yan. Hindi
Kaya
pwede. Actually
Kaya
dapat magprotesta ang mga furry sa
Sa
ano bang
any-
so
Actually,
Even sa
Warner
Batman,
Brothers-
even sa Batman, someone who identifies as a bat na sana ang kunin nila.
Oo, 'di ba? Yung mga furry,
Si
mga
Man-Bat?
dapat
buti nga they did not call out yung mga alguls eh. Si Talia, kumbaga kung description, she has like parang Middle Eastern Oriental features pa nga eh.
Oh, yeah.
Hindi pa uso yung cancel culture din or
Yeah,
appropriation, 'di ba? So
They'll make it black or transgender because
Exactly.
God,
Oh my
when that happens, I just avoid it. I go
Mhm.
stick to the old stuff. Like yun nga, si Sir Jerald,
Now that you
Miracle
mention
Man
it,
and all that good stuff.
Middle Eastern,
nagcut.
Sabi ko,
Middle Eastern, Talia
sabi
is
ko,
gold.
yeah, I just stick to the old ones.
That would actually be nice to see.
Ano,
well,
Have you seen Arabian women, or at least even Turkish women?
oh, they're pretty.
For
You know, right?
Alia.
When I was nung pinanood ko tong The Dark Knight Rises kanina, it's surprising na may mga, let's say, black folks na part dun sa mga mercenaries ni Bane. And ngayon, kung papanoorin mo yung The Batman, sinesegregate nila yung good guys sa bad
Yes.
guys. Na lahat
It's
ng
so typical.
lahat ng mga black are good guys and lahat ng mga
Ah.
white are bad guys. That it doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter.
Wala.
Yeah.
Ngayon,
black-
it's
Pwede maging
It's
proud
ano
ni
na.
Bane ang isang black guy or white guy.
And then the
It
Hindi
makes
tayo
sense
police are
magreklamo eh.
Kaya ngayon ang very very predictable. Kunwari may whodunit movie. Let's say
It's the white
Mm.
guy.
spoil ko yung Scream. Let's say yung Scream, it's the white guy.
Oh,
Yung
it's typical.
kung yun yung kalaban. Yun yung yung bad guy. Lagi. Kunwari may mystery
Okay.
movie. Sino pumatay? Oh, dali
White
lang yan.
guy.
It's a no-brainer.
Yung white guy.
Mm.
So what?
Do
Yun
they,
yung
do
yung
they
tip
still
ko.
do the classic black guy dies first or not anymore?
Parang hindi
Hindi
na.
na yata eh. Hindi na yata.
Sometimes they center stage yung mga black guys yun.
So yun yung spoiler ko. Hindi ko lang kung napanood yung bagong Scream.
Na
But if you follow that rule,
Wala
yung
si ano
sinabi
dito
ko.
eh.
May
Wala
ba-
si Anthony dito eh, sayang. Anyway,
So,
go ahead.
May bagong
Anthony
Scream ba?
Stopford.
May bagong
Anthony
Scream.
was
Scream.
watching.
Scream, may
Meron,
bagong
meron
Scream.
Last year.
Scream
Ah,
ano
so-
na?
They say it's good.
Seven?
It's a parang reboot. Parang for the times.
Okay siya but because of the rules ngayon, it's very predictable ngayon kung sino yung bad guy.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
you cancel out
nire-reject na
yung
siya ng mga nire-reject
Can-
na naman siya ng mga audience eh. So it's
Yeah.
it's
Cancel
there
out mo
it's
yung ano.
it's in their own peril na gawin nila
no.
yan. Sige.
Kaya nga.
Have you
Ang
guys
ginawa
seen
ko,
the most
kinancel
recent
out yung
Just let
video of the
lesbian.
Drinker?
May
Just
lesbian
let it
doon.
play out.
Ang ginawa ko, kinancel
Just
out
let
ko
it
yung
play out.
lesbian. May
Bahala kayo.
lesbian doon. Hindi siya yung killer dahil lesbian siya. Mabait na tao pag lesbian. May black guy doon. Hindi
Typical.
siya yung killer. Mabait na tao pag black guy. Ang natitira lang isang white girl tsaka isang white guy. Mukhang yan yung
Malamang hindi
killer.
nila kukunin yung babae. Of course.
Hindi.
babae.
Hindi. Usually pag Scream, ni-spoil ko na yung movie. But
Okay na.
Okay lang yan.
usually pag
It's all
Scream,
good.
dalawa yung
Dama yung
dalawa
balak
yung...
ko no.
Pero
I mean,
anyway,
Pat, you were saying something?
Have you guys seen the most recent video of the Drinker? Critical Drinker?
Not yet.
Featuring about which one?
I was
Cancelled yung Batman.
yeah,
Batgirl.
Batgirl canceled.
Batgirl.
Oh yeah, I did. Funny.
Yeah, because turns out the new guy is Zaslav, because AT&T dropped Warner.
Yeah,
Mm.
Discovery
And then
owns
Discovery
it.
brought the new guy Zaslav, the new guy running. What's it?
Yeah.
Warner.
Yeah,
Warner.
Warner.
He fired
He-
all of the woke.
Yes.
All of
He
the woke-
actually, it was expressed months ago na pagdating
that's
na ni Zaslav, talagang clean house siya.
But that's
Even
a
the
good move.
DC.
That's a good
Okay,
move.
okay.
DC
Ano bakit
Comics,
bakit siya tinanggal? Bakit siya tinanggal?
He will not tolerate anything progressive or woke kasi it's not really making money. He's after profits.
And
Kumbaga,
finally.
he's the Bob Chapek. Si Bob
Chapek.
Chapek parang salita lang eh. Ito talagang nakikita mo na nangyayari talaga. He's
And
cleaning
finally,
house.
ginawa nila yun. Yeah, finally.
Kasi it's not really making money sa totoo lang. The books
Yeah.
have been avoided. Kaya nga yung pinakahuli kong nabasa was Deceased ba yun or Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah, the
After that
books,
was
the books are
Ay,
still
pinag-uusapan natin yun, di ba?
unbearable nga eh. Napaka-unbearable.
Oo nga eh.
So that CEO ba siya? Or what?
Yes,
President or what?
he's a CEO.
Discovery.
Zaslav.
Okay, so
He's the new
that person
man.
siya sa DC siya o sa movies?
So
Sa
Warner,
comics
Warner.
or sa
Both.
Warner
Comics and
Brothers.
movies.
DC.
comics and movies. So
Yes.
yung mga comics na Superman na bakla, ano na yun?
Tatanggalin
ano
niya
siya?
yun. Papatayin niya rin.
Diba?
Yeah. Nice.
He's about to make entertainment great again.
You know guys, one thing na ano ko na di ba yung sinasabi, I forget the comic book artist name eh. Parang when people
Anong
celebrate
title?
these, I forget, but the it's an author. So artist author siya. So
Okay.
ang doon sa isang interview niya is
Ethan Van Sciver?
Di ko maalala eh. Pero baka yun. Ang
Si
ang
Si
isang
si Ethan?
to those who are not aware lang who might be listening, di ba? It's ang sinabi niya is yung mga diversity bullshit na yan. It's parang it's basically a front for Marvel and
Batman
DC.
ano to eh. Batman ano siya. Para naalala ko na to. Sige,
Wait.
sorry.
Okay. So yan tuloy. yung
Front for
yung
Marvel and DC.
so
Si
Marvel and DC gumagawa sila ng gumagawa lang sila ng new iterations of established characters. And
Chuck Dixon.
ginagawa nilang
Ah,
rason lagi yung
Robin.
diversity na yan. Ang gusto, but in reality they just want to dodge copyright and paying the
Si Chuck
heirs
Norris,
of the yun, mga copyright ine-extend din
Yung
naglalabi
creators,
naglalabi
yung
sila ng
creators.
naglalabi to extend their copyright claim on these characters. And when they can't anymore, kasi like let's say Superman, more than 50 years na yan, 60 years, I don't know, diba?
Mawawala.
So mawawala na sa kanila eh. So what they're gonna do is they're just gonna change yung kung ano yung kasi may official description sa Superman. So one of those is meron siyang S na na buhok dito, yung Kiss Me na sa buhok niya.
Tama.
So pag tinanggal mo yon, syempre yung logo niya, 'di ba? At saka yung costume niya, ganun. So you just change the costumes, you remove those identifying features, and they will be safe to use the character. So if you're so yung Miles Morales, safe na yon kasi si Miles Morales na siya, pero it is still based on Spider-Man, and they are getting away from
a lot of those Superman copies in various comics and shows.
Oh, Mr. Majestic,
yeah,
Supreme.
they just ride on the popularity.
Good point.
Maganda
yung point ni Jerald.
So, diba? So they ride on.
It's happening. It has been happening.
They ride on the character's popularity that is being established already. And
kaya nga nawala yung briefs kay Superman because of, tama ka, yung royalty.
Yun nga, so let me just finish it. So yung
that's how that happened.
Diba? So ginagawa nilang front as if they are being alam mo yun, virtuous.
Virtuous, tama.
Diba? Virtuous na parang they're doing it in good faith, pero sa totoo lang, ninanakawan lang nila yung heirs ng may-ari ng mga franchise na yan.
And maraming companies na gumagawa
that is so evil.
Yeah,
so
true.
And that is the worst. Kaya hindi matapos-tapos yung storya. Yung sinabi ni Jay kanina, na tama, na-realize ko yun ngayon. It is very rare na merong ending ang isang superhero story.
Wala.
So if there's one good thing nga talaga na in the Nolan films, merong ending. Kasi yun walang ganoon eh. Kaya nga tumigil ako pagbabasa ng comics eh, kasi hindi na namatay eh. Kaya
walang wakasan. Dati wakasan.
Diba, ang story, 3 parts yan. Essentially, beginning, middle, and end. Di ba? Yun ang 3 major parts. Laging walang end. So, yung isang point ni Kay, okay nga yun. Merong ending yung Nolan Trilogy, Nolan Batman. So, yun.
At least may mapapanood kang Batman na story na may katapusan. And for me, for me, satisfying for me. I don't know about you guys. I can watch this trilogy
likewise.
every year.
It's a good trilogy.
I'll still be satisfied.
I mean, even the last one, on its own, if you don't compare to the previous 2, or even at least the Dark Knight, the second movie, it is a solid movie.
And it has a lot of messages you can apply in reality.
Yes.
Katulad yung mga sinasabi ni Alfred, like some people are just out there to see the world burn and such. Sometimes I can relate to that, but of course, that's how you would live or handle the world.
Or
you can't really reason with
die a hero or
may isang tanong ako.
Turn into a villain.
May isang tanong ako. Ito for everybody. What is your most what is your favorite Batman Nolan Batman quote? Diba?
Ayun.
Isip tayo. Ano ba sa akin?
Dami.
Yung sinabi niya ni Marrojas. Yung it's not what you do that defines you.
It's not what you do.
It's not what you do that defines you. But what
ano
you
pa
do.
bang ano? Ano bang
Dadagdagan ko lang yung sinabi na yung may ending, because rarely nga sa comics makabasa ka ng ending. And it used to be na sa movies nakakarating ka sa ending, but nowadays hindi ka na makakarating sa ending even sa movies. Dahil ang
I think
Marvel
Oh,
Cinematic
God.
Universe it will go on forever and ever. And yung
I
bawat movie ng Marvel is just parang ano lang siya, advertisement
The
for the
MCU
next
is
movie.
dead.
So
actually yung sa comics, I have to disagree na there's some storylines na may ending
May
din.
mga
there's some,
tatapos
like
dun.
Watchmen.
Oo,
kunwari.
agree.
Lalo na sa
Even
DC.
Watchmen doesn't. Even
DC.
Watchmen doesn't have
You know,
an
the good
ending
thing
anymore.
about DC is
The DC
some of their stories are like
comics.
one-offs. It's like Elseworlds or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Hindi.
One-off.
Even yung yung mga, for example, the best one na may ending, yung 4-part series na yung Green Lantern Rebirth ni Ethan Van Sciver tsaka
Kay
ni
Jeff
Jeff
Johns.
Johns.
Jeff
That
Johns.
was a 4-part. Hush, marami. DC
Hindi,
usually has
pero Hush has a parang may mga
opener.
may mga open pa rin eh.
Yes,
Mga
for
loose threads
Hush
eh.
or Thomas
May mga
Elliott
loose.
to
There are arcs. May mga
Mm.
arcs, pero hindi siya talaga ending. Ending lang siya ng arc.
True.
But
It goes on.
It goes on.
Here's one example of a comic that's run for hundreds of issues, almost
The
a
Clone
continuous
Saga.
storyline with
Spider-Man Clone Saga. Ilang
No.
years yun?
no, I'm talking about Hellblazer.
Oh, Hellblazer. Yeah. But that
I mean,
was well written naman.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
entertaining.
it's run for like 20, 30 years, and then about
Under the
300
Vertigo
issues
line.
in, they
Under the
they
Vertigo
finally let John die. Finally,
John Constantine.
Which
yun
binalik
yung
din
mga
nila si John Constantine.
Constantine. He gets very picky about how
wala
he
pa ring
pronounces
ending
his
eh.
name.
Bumalik pa rin eh. So if you think
Bumalik
about
nga
it,
siya to
medyo,
diba?
medyo-
Sa Earth 2. Kung naalala mo yun, just, diba?
kahit nga mga Elseworld wala na ring ending eh. Pinipick up siya sometimes in a
Parang
multiverse.
multiverse style.
I think
Yung Watchmen
siguro,
used to have an ending, ngayon meron nang wala na rin dahil gumawa
Wala
si
na
Jeff
rin.
Johns ng Doomsday
They
Clock.
integrated it nga sa Dark Knight's method.
So
Yun
wala
ang-
na rin,
yun ang
wala na rin
problema
ending
sa
ng Watchmen.
It's yung creativity is bankrupt creatively kasi yung mga ng
Writers. Wala namang
Hollywood
hindi namang writers.
It's all
Well, they don't really hire writers anymore. They hire
Activists.
activists.
Yes.
So we don't get endings anymore.
Unfortunately.
Yun yung mga
it's
kaya ito yung nagustuhan ko sa rare to yung The Dark Knight trilogy where we get an ending.
Can you imagine if my ideal world kasi sa comics is let's say yung talagang itetreasure mo ang isang story. Let's say Spider-Man or Superman. That should have ended in the 70s 'di ba? So may ending na 'yon. At isa lang 'yon. Isa lang yung story ni Superman. Wala nang ibang alternate, 'di ba? Everything else would be apocrypha. Nandun na yan sa hindi na yan. Pero merong isang established na kwento ni Superman. Yun, 'di ba?
Every now and
Pwede
then,
bang
may
gumawa
mga
ng
ganun.
fanfic pero merong
Gagawa
kwento. Parang Harry Potter. May
Even-
ending, meron
Kaya nga
siyang
eh.
diretso. Hindi mo pwedeng dito
Even
sa
the-
nito, dadagdagan mo, ibahin mo. Tapos
Superman
after
is
nila
cartoon,
wait. After nilang matapos yung kwento, meron siyang papalit na hindi na si Superman, meron ng new breed of new heroes and characters that will
And they will look
be
up
the
to
main
Superman.
guys, 'di ba? Yun ang tapos can you imagine yung lost generations of probable na superheroes? Sana ang dami na. Hindi yung laging every 6 years Superman
kaya
ng
nga.
Superman, 'di ba? So
Ulit
it's
lang na ulit.
parang
Yeah,
you can always
rebooting.
return to the main story ng Superman.
Kaya nga.
'Di ba? Imagine something else after it, pero at least meron kang alam na isang storya. Pero ngayon sa atin kasi
Yeah.
the story is just the origin story. Yun lang ang importante. That's Peter Parker, Uncle Ben. Yun. After Uncle Ben, everything anything goes na. Yung kay Superman, yung sa Krypton, sumabog, nag-crash dito, nakuha na ng mga Kents naman, 'di ba? May kalaban siya si Lex Luthor, tapos si meron siyang nagtrabaho siya sa may trabaho siya sa tawag doon sa Daily Bugle.
Wait, no.
Daily Planet.
Daily Planet. Oh, 'di ba 'yun? Jowa
Ngayong
niya si
anniversary na
Lois.
naman ng anniversary naman ng death of Superman ngayon eh. So gagawa na naman sila ng something similar I guess
remake.
dun sa death of Superman.
Alam mo yun,
so ilang beses na
definitive.
pinatay
How many times have they killed off Superman only to bring him back the next?
Yeah,
after
okay.
completion?
I think
stays
ano,
dead in the comics.
The definitive ending ni Superman for me is the All-Star Superman.
Ayun,
Ganda.
maganda.
That was a
Maganda
good.
yun.
That was a
You know,
good.
that was a good one.
Ano, Grant Morrison yun eh, tsaka Frank
Grant
White.
Morrison.
There
Ang
we go. Ganda.
what this culture tells me kasi is you are afraid to create something new. This is a culture of parang reliance on what works, na
Yeah.
parang
Works.
what you think
Yeah.
works, na parang
Formulate.
hindi yun na yun. Hindi, wag na tayong mag-innovate. 'Di ba? This skills innovation eh. Imagine if this applies to technology. Na meron kang everything else, bawa computer. Tumigil na tayo sa sa Nokia, kunyari, 'di ba? Wala na, okay na 'to. Bumebenta 'to eh. Yun na lang lagi, 'di ba? Wag na gawa ng iba.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Hindi na natin kailangan ng iPhone na 'yan, 'di ba? Ng mga tablets. Parang ganun din yung ganun din yung sa superheroes. It's still a
I think
commodity.
It falls back to the writers talaga. As
I think
as
there's
JM
an-
pointed out.
It's not, I don't think it's the
Never.
writers. It's the corporate corporate greed. Yun ang niyan.
Pwede.
Kasi
I
yung
think
mga
it's the
writers are
writers for me.
That's one.
Kasi
Ang-
if ganito yan, if the corporate greed kasi I would agree din, pero if it's that, di ba dapat it makes sense na kukunin mo yung the right
Best
people for
writers.
the job. And
Understands
we're in a time in history na they're not doing that. They're just getting people with talking points. Sila yung
But-
nagka-create ng ng mga entertainment na meron ngayon, which is very sad. Unlike before na meron
usually
tayo.
kasi the people upstairs, sila yung mag-mandate na this is hindi, wag na nating scrap na natin yan. Anong bago-bago? Gawa ka ulit na tong Spider-Man. Parang at least
Yun nga,
that's
yeah.
how I see, 'di ba?
Pero
Pero yun nga
how-
hindi nga
That
sila
might be the
kumikita
case.
sa mga ginagawa nila ngayon eh. I think we all agree with that na hindi sila kumikita talaga.
Oo,
That's
diba?
why manga is, sabi nga ni Az,
Killing
diba?
them.
Manga,
diba?
shut up. Parang
Mm.
talagang hindi kumikita ang comics ngayon.
Yeah.
And except
Yung-
for itong bago, si Isom, yung kay
And hopefully,
Eric July.
Oo.
Yeah.
shake
Yeah.
things up.
The Rippaverse.
Ganda
Ako,
ng
I can
Reaperverse
say-
nila.
Comics ng mga white supremacist ba yan?
Oh, yun. Yeah, it
Yung
is.
sinasabi mo?
Black, white,
Apparently, mukha nga
The,
mga
the
white
black
Comics
supremacists.
ng mga
White
white
supremacists.
supremacists.
It's racist.
Mga
Isong
Pilipinong
number one.
white supremacist kayo ah.
Oh.
Ay,
Oh,
baka
Pero,
nonsense yun.
Ikaw,
I
bakit
would use
ang babrown nyo? White supremacist kayo ah.
You brown monkeys!
Bakit kayo?
Pero,
oh my god. Hey JM,
Hey.
right? This occurred to me. You're rocking the drinker shades.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm also Top Gun. Dahil kakapanood ko lang kanina. So, yeah.
Ayun,
But,
yung isang, go ahead, Jess. Sige.
Yes.
sa akin, I think if it's something old, no, like the characters or the books, the things that usually would catch my attention is yung writers nga. Like for example,
Yeah.
I think sabi ni JM, Superman All-Star. Kasi nga si Grant Morrison, and Grant Morrison has been known to push limits. Like for example,
Consistently good writer.
he
He's not
dares.
afraid.
Yes,
He's not
bingo.
afraid.
What he did with X-Men. Pero yung pinaka nagustuhan ko yung run niya rin sa Justice League, in which superpowered yung kalaban, tapos he made Batman, an ordinary person, as someone na nakapansin, considering yung mga kasama niya is, kumbaga pantheon of the gods eh. Ayun pala, mga white Martians. That was what Grant Morrison wrote eh. Tapos yung Tower of Babel. Ang daming
Tower Babel
he-
po.
oh,
Maraming.
he wrote a lot of
Kay Grant yun? Kay
Oh,
Grant
Grant
pala
yun.
yung Tower
Yes.
Babel?
Grant
Kaya
yun.
pala ang ganda eh.
yung mga stories niya, he goes beyond the
Yeah,
usual
yeah.
formula. He dares to push it.
Ah,
Kaya stories like those will catch me to the comic
yes.
books. Pero
Ah,
there's some writers naman na tulad ni Brian Azzarello ng 100 Bullets ba yun? He tried writing Superman tapos Jim Lee penciled it. Naku,
may bat
napaka-boring.
may Batman din siya, yung Noel. Siya ba yung sa
Oh.
Noel?
Yeah, sa Noel, Brian Azzarello.
Noel. Mm.
Parang medyo I don't find his writing style appealing. Kaya I think it depends on the writers pa rin, on how they come up with something new for someone traditional or existing. Grant
Excited ako doon sa
Morrison's
DC. Excited ako sa DC because a few years
Yeah,
ago
check.
they
Morrison
they
also
let
did a
go
couple
of
issues of Hellblazer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
25
ano yun,
and
Jay?
26.
They let go of?
no. A few years ago they let go of their good writers.
Yes, that's the thing.
Ang
Oh
DC.
Kaya
yeah,
nangatay na.
that's
Kaya
Jeff
ang
Loeb,
pangit.
Jeff
Sina
Loeb,
Jeff Johns, sina Scott
Jeff
Snyder
Johns.
left DC and parang mga interns na nga lang
Si
doon.
ano din,
Yung
si
balita.
Chuck Dixon din, di ba? Si Chuck Dixon.
Very long
umalis
ago
din.
dahil parang
Oh.
politics medyo I understand sa pagiging writing
Kaya,
ni Chuck Dixon.
wala na. Stop buying the
So
books.
hopefully itong shake up sa Warner will
Yeah, with
do
Zaslav.
them good. So
Well,
let's see.
Hopefully.
parang the pushback has started kasi, di ba, with the things that yun, kina Eric July nga in the Daily Wire,
Oo.
sina Tim
Oo,
Pool,
kaya
those are
Yung
exciting
mga
yan.
crowdfunding,
Maraming
Ethan Von Scheider.
in fact mga crowdfunding yung pinunta sa Substack
Comics
pumunta
yun.
sina Jonathan Hickman, sina
Hickman.
James Tynion, yung mga big names ng DC and Marvel and
Nag-independent.
their flagship
Well,
books
yeah.
biglang nagsialisan at nag-independent eh. So there's something wrong talaga sa
Kaya din
Big
eh.
Two. Mm-mm.
Tsaka
Well,
kayang-kaya nila.
At saka hindi na importante kasi yung yung it's like
The imprint.
what we're doing right now. Before we needed something like ABS-CBN to
Oh yeah.
do this,
Stuff like
di ba?
yeah.
Now, yung pagmura na yung digital printing, pamura na para yung crowdfunding is very doable, di ba? And sinasabi ko nga yan sa kasi sa comics I know a little bit about the comics industry. So yung sa webtoons, you can make millions from webtoons, so mga ginagawa ng mga minsan hindi pa nga maganda,
Independents.
di ba?
Yes.
Mga independent, just
Okay.
regular people, kids,
Tama.
di ba? Mga teenagers yung iba, tapos they're making thousands and thousands of dollars.
And
A
yung
month.
magsusustain sa'yo is yung tunay na capitalism because you need to
Yes.
release good products
Yes.
to continue getting money.
And you put your heart and mind into it, and you
Hindi
reap
sila
the
pwedeng
rewards.
It's passion.
mag-mess up. Hindi sila pwedeng mag-mess up because they lose money kung if they continue to release products pero pangit na yung quality. So yun
Tama,
yung
sir.
tunay na
And-
essence ng capitalism.
Yes.
And
And also
It
and
shows.
also
Ayun nga, it shows that you put effort. Unlike yung ginagawang trash ngayon, just to virtue signal. Walang quality, walang effort, walang heart.
yes.
So,
and
tama
also
yung
as
sinabi mo, Sir Jay.
and also being an artist, you would like to create na yung ikaw talagang gumawa. 'Di ba? Na hindi ka
yeah.
na hindi ka, you're not under an editor, yung mga
And nakikita namin
quirks
yun.
ng mga quirks ng mga producers, meron kang freedom na hindi mo magagawa dati if you are, let's say, under a company with very strict rules and that meron
True.
silang agenda, 'di ba? And sometimes you don't really give shit about their agenda. You just want to draw. You just want to sing. You just want to write and create something.
Produce
And
lang.
alam mo, madaming, it's so easy right now. Well, it's not easy, it's still hard, but it's so
It's
accessible.
more accessible.
Very accessible these days, and a lot of people are capitalizing on that. Well, it's not a guarantee na when you do it
It will sell.
you're gonna succeed, pero it's always worth a try.
Beto yun
And
eh.
actually,
Siguro,
there was a feature sa Yellow Flash na pinakita niya yung Harlequin na DC panel na ni-recycle ng artist, ni-reverse lang yung image, tapos iniba yung
Greg
zoom.
Land ang
Ayun.
nagpauso niyan.
So,
Oh, Greg lang.
di yung comic panel talaga. So, doon mo nakikita na walang heart yung yung product talaga. Unlike yung mga writers yan, katulad ni Jeff Johns, like sa Rebirth.
Mm.
Like for example, yung sa Rebirth, there was a scene na parang sinulat niya na after Green Arrow using the ring, sabi niya, ganun pala kahirap gamitin yung will. It's like you're trying to force your thoughts into reality. Parang pinipilit mo nagising ka after not sleeping for several days. Ganun ka kapagod. Just to come up with a construct. So, yan. People like those who write, they really put their imagination and their heart into the story. And it also makes you relate on how they express the story. Unlike ngayon, nako, virtue signaling at saka na lang, diversity and inclusion.
Priorities kasi. Well, don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of artists who are talagang magagaling talaga na
That's true.
na
yeah.
and even writers, but mostly kasi yung mga writers doon medyo compromised kasi syempre
medyo. Parang
syempre
nauna
syempre
yung
pipiliin
agenda.
nila yung mga
Progressives.
people who aligns
With your
their
political
values
views.
with
Yeah, and sa akin, as
so-
long as you concentrate on the art first, tsaka kung gusto mong pasukin yung ipasok yung agenda mo or yung messaging mo, basta unahin mo muna yung art, make a good story muna. Hindi yung unahin mo yung message, tapos the story follows. Parang
Well,
nagsasuffer
hindi
yung
naman-
nagsasuffer yung story, nagsasuffer yung quality because message ang inuna mo, tapos tsaka mo pinasunod yung story. And
Okay.
yun yung
Well,
difference
actually pwedeng subjective pa rin yun eh. Kasi malay mo sa kanila, wow, this is a masterpiece. Kasi naniniwala sila dun eh. 'Di ba? Ang ganda nito, 'di ba?
Good point.
Pero the thing ang tanong is tawag doon,
Will it sell?
bebenta ba 'yon? Bebenta ba 'yon,
So,
'di ba?
yung ano pa rin,
Nope.
yung
So,
I think
people will.
here's the since na 30 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm really sorry, but we need to na rin, to
Wrap it up,
sign
wrap
up
up.
na rin.
I'm enjoying the
But
conversation,
here's the
guys.
thing na
Yeah,
sasabihin
I
ko
know,
lang
same
regarding, here's one thing na kailangan ko lang sabihin regarding this. The Batman, Dark Knight Rises, probably one of the best, as sinabi nga namin kanina, and also rewatchable. And we segue into something na mas importanteng kailangan pag-usapan. Probably this deserves a different discussion, and mas maganda kung kaila Sir Jerald natin pag-usapan to.
Ay,
Totoo sa'yo. So next time, we will probably set
Yeah.
it up. Pero ito yung sasabihin ko. May sinabi si Kay Surface regarding here, and we'll end it here. Huwag ka masyadong magreklamo na ng sobra. If you want something to change, you need to change. Or in essence, you become the culture na gusto mo. You
Yes.
become the culture na kailangan na gawin natin. So yun ang ginagawa natin with Sir Jay's podcast, with Sir Jerald's podcast, and also yung mga ginagawa niya. Si Jess, kung ano-ano mga kalokohan pinapost na, pero there's a lot of meaning regarding it.
And may sinabi din siya,
Totoo,
by the way, may sinabi si Batman na similar dun sa sinabi mo. Sabi niya, if you want to make this world a better place, try to look at yourself and make a change. Sa likod Batman niya sinabi yun.
Siguro,
Pat,
let's go ahead and talk about that sometime soon. Pero
I enjoy this, guys.
I enjoyed
when it
it.
comes to
Enjoy this.
Oppenheimer,
Pat.
natanong lang ni Pat, when it comes to
Yes.
Oppenheimer, I'm positively optimistic sa kanya because
Yeah.
Nolan is probably one of the last directors na pwede nating asahan. Yun na lang
Because
masasabi ko.
honestly, what I wonder, how is he gonna do the nuke test scene? It keeps.
Well, that's
I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around it. He is averse to CGI on major scenes. So how will he do that nuclear test
magic,
scene?
cinema
for
magic na siguro. So let's
Maybe
talk about
just
that
a
next
small-
time.
Instead of building a full-scale test city and
Yeah, I
A
would
live
think of
nuke.
a scale.
Probably.
maybe he'll just make a smaller scale test city and then just use real explosives.
Maybe next. Siguro
Maybe.
ganun
Yeah.
yan. But anyway, guys, sorry talaga,
guys.
but
Thanks, guys.
I think
I
we need
know.
to rest up na. But before we go,
Yeah,
siguro 2
3
minutes.
hours.
Simulan
One,
natin
which
kay,
one?
kay Sir Jay. Jay,
Oh,
ano
yeah,
mangyayari
yeah.
sa Aruga Show? Jay Aruga
Yes,
Show?
so the Jay Aruga Show is may break muna, naka-break ako for 1 month. So
Ken?
it's in Spotify. The Jay Aruga Show, for those who don't know, is a
First
conservative,
conservative.
right
Yep.
wing podcast, and
Right on.
so
Nice.
it's in Spotify, Google, Apple. So I call it the first conservative podcast in the Philippines kasi wala pang nagte-take nung label na yon sa
Well said.
Pilipinas for now. Kaya I can
Salute,
take it.
Jay.
So thanks guys for inviting me. Thanks, and
No,
nice to meet you,
definitely.
Jess, Pat, and nice to talk to you again, Jerald and JM.
At
Definitely.
Jerald, JM,
Ah,
Okay.
si Sir Jerald, the Powerful Comicsman podcast. Anything happening this weekend or this month?
Oh, I've been sending invites, and I have a few confirmed guests next week, and magkukumo rin ako, magdo-drawing companion ako sa Kumu every Saturday 10 p.m. Pero I don't know. I'm experimenting on on the podcast right now. I'm gonna try doing the video in vertical, naka-vertical siya para madaling i-clip out for TikTok. Let's see what happens. But those are yun ang isang idea, pero I don't know if that's gonna work. And yun lang, just follow the Powerful Comics Man podcast here on Facebook, and doon mo basically nagpo-post lang ako doon kung anong gagawin. All right.
Okay. So in my
Okay.
end naman, wala pa ngayon. Just go ahead and follow my channel. Probably everyone's channel here. I think Pat and also Jess, wala pa sila. Hopefully magkakaroon. But for me, siguro, Jess, meron tayo. And it's going to be
Yeah.
Star Wars related. We're
Anthony
going to
Brim.
destroy a review of Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back in
Mukhang
a
yung
few.
niya, peg niya,
Oo.
destroying reviews.
Yeah.
And that's where the Joker's line, I mean, Alfred's seeing things, watching the
Some
world
people
burn.
just want to watch the world burn.
Uh-huh. So that's it for us, ladies and gents. It's been a blast. Next time, may maganda uli. Probably invite ko uli sila. Let's see. Wolf of Wall Street, tingnan natin. But for now, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here.
Can't
anything
wait to
pop
do raid
culture.
with you. Raid and dread with you.
Yeah, tingnan natin.
Raid.
Yep. Meron pa yung
Raid and Dread.
raided
Nice.
next time. So, good night, everyone, and happy
Night,
Saturday,
everyone.
happy weekend.
Good
Take
night.
care. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.